Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another RGL cast. My name is Jarrett, and I'm here with Space Ghost to bring you guys Froyotech versus Witness Gaming. This is RGL6's Season 6 Invite Semifinals. Winner here goes straight to Grands. Loser gets knocked down to lowers to face the winner of tomorrow's match, which is Ford versus Global Clan Ice. Got 3 maps lined up for you guys. Should be a banger of a watch, and I'm really excited to see who's going to come up on top at the end of the day. Space Ghost, how you doing? What do you think about this matchup as we get some of the players loaded up into the server?
I'm feeling pretty good about this match. I'm really excited to see some top level TF2 here between the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed. We do have our first map as King of the Hill Bagel, which if for those of you who have previously watched, Froyotech actually picked this map, I believe, against what's the team name? They picked it in their previous match.
It was their Global Clan Ice match.
Yeah, Global Clan Ice. So Froyotech do seem to be big fans of King of the Hill Bagel here, so kind of interesting to see their initial map pick. I guess they like the recent experience on it.
Yeah, I mean, it probably got something in mind, I would imagine. But I think it's probably important to, before we go too deep into we got 3 maps to look at realistically, and we got some time to talk about Bagel as well. But let's talk about the rosters so everyone kind of knows. If you're a little bit late to the season, maybe you only show up for playoff runs, you can get an idea of who is actually in the server playing. I'll go ahead and start with the Froyotech roster. It is Banny and Slem on Scout, Mirrorman and Blaze on Soldier, Habib on Demo, and Skis on Medic.
And for Witness Gaming, we have Yite and Brand Slam on Scout, Laz and Ash on Soldier, Artist on Demo Man, and Whole Guy on Medic. And yeah, going into this match, who do you think? I guess, I mean, we could talk about anything, but who are the standout players on Bagel, would you say? What classes are you going to look for?
Bagel, I think it kind of depends on the style that you're playing and how you're trying to achieve victory. Because it is such a wide map, I feel like for Koth in particular, you have slightly more options when it comes to, or at least maybe not different options, but they're achieved with different levels of success because the flanks are more prevalent and you have a little bit more cover to actually find a way to get behind and immediately get onto our target rather than maybe like clear cut your maneuvering is going behind, or like Viaduct, you have like kind of the connector, you can kind of jump behind, but your landing spot isn't too, it's pretty close to where they are in China. You can find a way to sneak through and find a hole in the defense if you find an opening in one of the houses, or you can even set up some strategies that maybe you can leave it open on purpose to try to really focus on a certain part of the map, or just completely ignore it in general. So I really feel like it's one of the slightly more balanced maps when it comes to every class kind of finding a groove. Domen can put out tons of damage if they work their way around the point itself to immediately dump into the other side of it. Soldiers have an avenue to be able to flank through the houses or just high bomb off of one of the walls they want to. And Scouts, even though there may be a little bit of room to maneuver around, there's still tons of flat land for them to work with. And hit scan is king in a lot of situations after all. So I actually feel like it's pretty balanced, all things considering, at least in comparison to the other Koth maps.
True, that is when you think of a lot of the other Koth maps like Product, you think, oh, that's a Scout map, and
Soldier Prison.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at this map, we have seen Froyotech play this map previously, so we definitely we need to know at least the general themes of what they like to do. They like to send players behind. Vanny really likes to stand on top of the cap point and just eat heals and eat damage, and nobody can get him off of it, and it's really hard to do that. But we haven't seen that much of Witness Gaming on this map. I don't think they played it in the regular season, so it's interesting to note what their strategies are going to be going into it. Now, Witness Gaming is also a team that does kind of like to go behind. They send Laz behind a lot, and he creates a lot of chaos. So I do expect to see that, but I'm kind of curious what we're going to see from Witness Gaming here, especially because they kind of they do know what Froyotech, at least what their general theme is going into this match.
They're in a really difficult spot with this map pick in particular. It's funny because we talked about it in the Froyo GCI match. We're like, oh, Froyotech Big Bagel, they've barely played it really. And it's kind of surprising. I guess they're just trying to cover all their bases. And then you look at this matchup, and they're actually the team that has the more experience on it. I think they've played it 3 times so far. And like you said, you are correct. Witness, this is their first time playing it this season. When it comes to preparing for matches, I'm sure there's maybe some stray, like, oh, you scrimmed a team that needed Bagel, so you went ahead and played a scrim on it, but not any sort of consistent practicing in that regard. And even then, to have the first time you're really like trying to grind a map be the playoffs, where 1, there's 3 maps you need to focus on, and 2, your scrim partner needs 3 other maps. The other match that's going to be tomorrow is 3 completely different maps from this setup that's there's no way they grinded this map unless they actually chose other maps to leave practice out of. So there's gonna be a map somewhere in this pool that might be neglected slightly depending on how things go, or maybe they just played every map once and it's not that much. You really want to be able to play a map more than once realistically to put yourself in a comfort zone. So if they're really gonna have to come out very strong with their game plan on paper, because they're not gonna have a whole lot of execution practice. They really need to make sure that they whatever plan they come out of the books with is gonna be strong versus whatever Froyo is gonna be able to put up together. Because if you are down in the first half versus a team that already has more experience on this map in terms of executing all these different types of strategies, it's going to be rough for you to win the match overall. But I mean, hey, it is a Koth map. We've seen plenty of upsets happen. We've seen plenty of wonky rounds happen back and forth between nail biting overtime to all the way clean sweep, just completely knocked out of the park. The other team didn't get a footing on the point at all. So it's really anyone's game right off the bat, but once a team starts to get in the swing of things, it could spell disasters if the other team is not really prepared as much as they need to be.
Yeah, we did see Froyotech off the bat last half. They didn't have the super great start. They started out, and GCI were, I think they got a round or two. They're a couple double overtimes, I remember specifically. So it wasn't like Froyotech was super dominant at first, but, second half, they cleaned everything up, and they got the dub pretty convincingly towards the end. But that is another thing to note, yeah, that Witness Gaming maybe didn't have much practice. Maybe they got lucky and they scrimmed GCI last week, so maybe they got their practice in that way on Bagel. That could be that's the only way I could think of where they really got some practice on this map. They got lucky that their scrim partner is playing Bagel. But, there are 3 maps in the pool, and this is only the first map, so even if, sometimes you do go into a playoff series and you kind of have a map you're just like, oh, this isn't going to go well. But again, if there's any 2 teams that can figure out how to, play this map even with limited experience, it is going to be these 2 teams. They're number 1 and number 2 seed for a good reason. A lot of players with a lot of experience, although we do have, Artist, it is his first season in Invite, I believe, and he's already made Invite semifinals, so I think that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too crazy. I think nowadays to be able to have up-and-comers do really well, but I think he's doing exceptional in terms of landing him in the spot. I think it's pretty normal to see when you see someone that does like really well and they move up into Invite and they're like, oh wow, this person's doing really good. Usually they make bubble playoffs or like land themselves like 4th place or whatever for their first season. It's like, oh wow, good job. That's really nice. But getting all the way to 2nd or 1st or 3rd is already beating what most people have already done. So hats off to him, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on him to put out the damage and make sure you're able to have a good impact in this match. I'm sure a lot of eyes are going to be on him, but really there's going to be a lot of eyes on everyone. Really, it's not. I still am a firm believer that this is slightly more of a balanced map when it comes to classes, at least depending on how you play it. I'm sure if your team wants to play in a very particular way, it could be miserable for some classes. Like if you're just going to be a W team, maybe your soldiers aren't going to have that much too fun of a time. They get their bomb and they die, and that's it, right? But
Yep.
everyone kind of has to play on point, at least to the best of their ability, not just because it's number 1 versus number 2 team. This is literally the most stacked matchup you can get for a season, but we got a lot of the line, and your class, regardless of what you're playing, is going to be very high impact. You're not really going to get an easy way and let your teammates carry you through this one, especially on Koth of all maps. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, the final outcome.
Yeah, we do have the Ready Up or Fear from Froyo Mirrormen, so hopefully we should have it ready up soon. It's probably on the way. And speaking of that, we do have a little time to kill here. I'm interested to see how Froyotech and how Witness deal with players behind this map. I think that's going to be a big theme of this map. Who is better at dealing with players behind? And on that note, we're on our way on our first mid for Invite semifinals.
That's true. They both have a very default strategy for a lot of maps to go behind, but I'm curious to see if they're going to adopt that for the first mid or do the normal, just kind of play slow, feel things out, and then jump the gun when they feel like it's appropriate. You got spam going across both sides. Seems like going a little bit slow. Slem and Mirrorman are peeking a little bit inside the house, but that's to be said the same for the side of Witness. But
Ooh, Yite,
he's immediately falling to take his 1 player advantage for the side of Froyotech. They're not really moving on it right off the bat. I think they recognize that there's still lots of spam from the side of Witness to be played out. Playing a little bit slow, but finally get a little bit of footing on the point. But oh, he melts immediately. Man, he popped up there, 50 HP. Oh, he died just barely. Brands are running forward, collecting that kill. And now the tables have turned. Froyo dropping like flies, 3 dead off of their initiation in. Seems like the execution wasn't quite there in Witness Gaming. Despite the immediate death that they gave to Froyo, they're getting their footing on the point. They're going to take the first cap here.
Yeah, Froyotech wisely elect to kind of back up their preserver, but yeah, they just kind of won the spam battle. They finally got all their spam in the right spot, and they were able to clean up a little more effectively than Froyotech, I'd say. And Benny was on the point there like he did last match. It got away, but in the meantime, we do have a roamer trade in the flank house. Laz actually might get chased down by Banny here. Banny is going to chase him down. So I'm just starting the post, but Ubers are being exchanged, and Witness Gaming does have the worst Uber here as Froyotech wants to take advantage of this, and they're holding W, and Witness Gaming also
the flank
back up.
from Mir, though. Collecting Logai. He knew that they had to escape because they were down 2 soldiers. That player advantage was not something they wanted to fight, and he just took advantage of it, goes for a solo play, able to find the medic, and that's not just a round take or a capture. That's a decent ad to be able to use. Well, I guess maybe it's not that decent. Maybe Skis wasn't healing, so it's actually not very huge at all.
Yeah, that is the one thing we didn't mention on this map, is that you pretty much spawn instantly if you don't have the point. And if you have the point, it takes kind of forever to spawn. So spawns are a crucial feature of this map, and if you have the point, you just can't die, or else you're going to be in the respawn queue for some time. But there's so many deaths everywhere. Soldier kills everywhere. We finally get a scout kill, Gite killing Mirror Man, but the soldiers are kind of going ham. Everyone's dead, but Witness Gaming seems to have come up top here and have a 1-player advantage, and now a 2-player advantage because they spawn so much faster.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy turn for the side of Witness. Yeah, they got their spawns and caps, so that's pretty perfect for the side of them to make sure that that's probably the best they could get, realistically.
That was optimal. That was actually optimal, the way they did those spawns. And their disad has turned into 2% ad, so good job from Logai building there. He actually manages to, turn his disad into just an even Uber situation. Now Froyotech does have to edge this point, and it looks like
Blaze initiating.
He is, true.
They're getting inside the house. They're starting to tiptoe on the point a little bit. They're in the driver's seat, realistically. It's even Ubers, but both teams, I've noticed, or at least many teams, don't really want to use the Uber to actually try to take the point back. They just rather bully them off and use the little time they have to reheal to go ahead and get the cap going their direction. But a lot of damage onto the side of in turn after Ash take the damage. So it's taking a bit. They don't even have to use their Uber to necessarily block this. They're actually going to let it go and then immediately start the recap. This is going back and forth at least a little bit for now, but still, there's no Uber exchange. Oh, finally, say that. Yeah, Caster's Curse, flank from Froyotech, and the Uber exchange going off, backing up to their own side. This side of Witness actually moving over to the flank, maybe flexing kills, able to get Mirror Man. Blaze dropping low. Laz able to flank if he gets a nice jump off, but it seems that there are going to be some dying from Banny. Not going to get enough damage, and Ash actually dying as well. So 1 for 1 after all that, but Witness Gaming able to make sure the cap goes their direction.
Yeah, they do get the cap here, and even though they're down Ash, they do actually are really hurt, but they are getting it. Froyotech actually can immediately just recap this, and Witness Gaming backs up. They realize they don't have the spawns for this, and they have a little bit of time to work with here. They have 30 seconds to do nothing. Laz is going to be... Did he get away with like 5 health? He
it was 5.
Yeah, he was so low. And now it's on Witness Gaming here. They have to edge this point, because again, like you said, teams really don't like the Uber change. Banny's going to get very aggressive, and actually going to... Yeah, look how aggressive Banny is. He gets in, and he just barely gets out, gets healthy, and he's probably going to do it again. But Artist is also getting aggressive. Pipes Banny, and the Froyotech's going to back up here, and probably let Witness Gaming just have the point here. Banny gets points again.
Banny falls as well, so there's definitely not going to be any sort of Uber to try to take back this point. It's just going to be spam, but then again, you don't necessarily need a scout if you're just playing a little bit of spam, or they have that one less scout to be able to hop up and down across the point, so less for ours to deal with, trying to pump damage into the other team. Banny will eventually roll out and meet his team back, so maybe we'll see the ball get into start rolling for the side of Froyotech, start poking around this point, but Witness Gaming still holding onto it a little bit strong. Both scouts are getting onto the point, one to cap, another to block, some spam taking from Blaze onto the enemy team. Logai's actually getting a bit weak, but same with Skis. Yeah, weak people all across the board. Mirrorman's actually going to fall, so that's 1 player advantage for the side of Witness, and they actually have a giant health advantage as well. Branson knows is trying to poke forward, and it seems like they're just in shambles, unable to get their footing. It's almost capped. It's just barely there, but unable to find it just because they were so weak. So Witness Game is still holding on to this for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're going to try to edge it now, but Blaze is going to follow, and here comes the Uber. They're trying to catch out Habib. They don't manage to do it, and Branson? Okay, they do manage to get out here, but Froyotech is going to probably take the point here off of, Witness Gaming backs up, wants to get healthy for this refight. Artist is a little hurt, but gonna get healed up. Here comes the flank in, and Laz is behind. Ash is bombing in too. They're trying to go for a big collapse here, but Blaze is also behind. Onto Logai. Is he going to get it? He hits the air.
Oh my god, I saw that from across the map. What the heck?
That was an insane air shot from Blaze, and that might secure the round if they do manage to get this round. But Logai's up instantly. Skis does have an Uber at to work with here, but I think Witness, if it's been like any other fight, they're just gonna dry this, and the Uber is gonna come to play during the whatever fight happens.
And it's really sketchy because there's so little time left for both teams, so you really have to play absolutely perfect.
Banny
Banny falling to spam. Ash able to collect that kill, and now Witness are starting to poke even more. There's a lot of presence in their own house. Yeah, Mirror Man unable to apply a lot of spam, has to back up and get healthy. Blaze
Blaze is
actually
gonna get
able
Artist.
to flank through house, unable to be seen by the side of Witness, collecting the Artist kill. So now no Delman for the side of Witness, and they have even less spam to get this uber
Look
force
at
in
the time,
Froyo.
though.
They're
There's 8
just
seconds.
capping
And
it.
Froyo is going to get the time with 7 seconds, but they kind of can't give up a cap here.
Oh, the double soldier bomb.
Oh, they know they want to get Skis so bad. Skis manages to milk the big play from Skis. They're milking. Witness knew they had like 30 seconds. They could go sack, go get their spawns, and then just go for a pretty much dry fight. Froyotech might. I'm curious. Okay, they're not going to go for a forward hold. Interesting decision. I kind of expected a forward hold, but they know with the time left they couldn't get one set up in time. So they're just going to go for this even Uber fight.
Uber might get picked. They're 2v1ing inside house. Slem not really committing too hard, able to collect the kill. Uber exchange goes off across the point, which is not something you normally see, but the time remaining is permitting it. Brandsam chasing the kill in the Blaze, able to collect him in the house. He's cutting Ash himself. 4v4 scenario. Brandsam dropping extremely low, well back up to the inside. There is overtime for the side of Witness, so they don't have to rush onto it quite yet, but they still have to eventually get on it, tiptoeing back and forth, trying to apply themselves, but they do have the faster respawners, so the longevity of this fight is Witness Gaming favored if this lasts long enough.
Branstam's gonna fall, though, from
Brandsam
Danny.
falling, though,
Yike's
and
gonna fall,
Yike,
too.
the respawners have to come in to salvage this ASAP. It's just Artists and Log left alive. Soldiers bombing in to try to initiate on the point. They have to land on the point to get the cap time, but there's no scouts. They're all dead and rolling out. Bomb from Rearman, collecting the damage on the logout again and back up. That's gonna let Ash die. There's so many kills and so much damage going to the side to win, despite them having the better respawners. And Froyotech just has an Iron Man hold over this point to make sure that this first round is collected as theirs.
Witness Gaming, if they could get like any kill, just a kill, 2 kills would be ideal. They could have probably won that round, but
they had respawn advantage.
yeah, they literally just Skis was making miracles out there. They were just unable to get a kill. The health just didn't go their way, and they just couldn't get the point. All they need to do is trade, and they just Froyotech played that perfectly. Weren't able to get any kills there to get the round. And on that note, we're gonna go on our second mid. But that was a very exciting first round. I see it. Okay, Blaze doesn't eat damage from the sticky, and Habib's just been. I noticed Habib just likes to lay traps on the stairs during the mid fights.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just kind of predicting the W. What has been happening is Witness has been favoring double soldier bombs onto Habib, so if you can prevent the scouts running across to kill him, then it's a pretty good boon for them. But it's actually pretty rough for the side of Froyo. Yeah, immediately falling. Last bombing in to try to go for Habib. Is going to be successful, and Skis, he's just out alone. All of his teammates have died. Slem, nowhere to be seen. I think he was going collecting packs, so he was weak and not near Skis over in the house, so going to be an unfortunate end for the side of Froyotech for their mid after that round collection. And Witness Gaming, they're able to collect this first cap, not without expending their own soldiers though, so it's going to be a bit for they're able to get some spam onto the side of Froyotech running through these doors. No forward hold at least for now, but they do have an Uber to work with for the longevity of their hold.
Yeah, and the soldier is going to spawn just in time for this fight. Froyotech, they have to figure out how they're going to do this. They're going to bomb, and here comes Habib in the skybox. Blaze in the skybox, and someone got ear shot. I think it was Blaze, and they are going to force though, so that's a successful sack.
Oh, Slem behind.
Oh, Slem is behind. I wonder if they...
Oh, immediately spotted. Soldier was just walking backwards.
There.
Oh, he collects the kill onto Laz. What? Okay,
that's
Laz,
a really good trade, actually.
I think Laz died because he ate the extra damage from face rocketing.
Oh.
So it just, like, dropped him so low.
Well played from Slemnish, and now, you know, not having a soldier, the Ski's gonna drop so low. The spam is insane. That's kind of one of the big things on this map is spam, and the spam there was directly on point. Ash 2 is in the house trying to spam. Froyotech gonna have people fall before they can even get in, but they get a trade, and they get Brand Slam, and the respawns are in their favor here, so it's still coming up. Habib's gonna drop low, but Artist is gonna die for it.
Artist surfed backwards into the wall, but the bomb onto Skis. Skis landed on the pill, so he lived.
He's perfect.
He literally landed with 37 HP, ate that pill, and then ate enough fall damage to not die because the pill was taken. What a lord.
Skis have been playing very well this game overall. He's been milking, like, it takes a lot of, you know, it takes a lot of skill to just know when to pop it and when to not pop it, and he has not been popping it because he hasn't needed to. So big plays coming from Skis, not, you know, getting panicky. And Laz is gonna fall from this forward hold. This is the first real forward hold I think we've seen that's actually getting stuffed really hard.
Yeah, Witness Gaming trying to find their footing. They dropped one, so it's going to be a little bit slow. They're probably waiting for Laz to respawn. Actually, never mind. They're just busting through. They found the opportunity. A lot of damage onto Blaze. The chase is onto Bandy, getting him low as well. So a lot of flash players for the side of Froyo, or at least unflash. They're getting pretty weak for the side of their flank and their combo respectively. But Habib caught out. He's just in the house, and that's a pretty good shade for the side of Witness Gaming, collecting a lot of these kills. Laz but weak gonna escape and actually finish off Blaze for fall damage. Bomb from here, trying to salvage, able to collect the kill onto Yite, but is not quite enough. And Witness Gaming able to get their footing back onto this point, only losing Yite in response to that. So Artist setting up some traps. Their soldiers are buffed up in position, and it's looking like they're wanting a forward hold because they got all their projectile classes ready to hold these doorways.
Yeah, they want to hold the right side. They're just going to have everyone on that little patio there. Mirrorman's actually going to bomb through to make space, and he does a really good job making space. Froyotech's able to get out, not take too much damage, and Habib gets blowed up. And they're actually going to, the flank of Froyotech's going to get Ash on the side, so now Froyotech's pretty much going to get a free cap, but they do have to worry about this incoming Uber from Lolguy if the spawns come in time. Lolguy does have 20% ad, 30% ad. It's going to come soon if Witness Gaming finds the opportunity to use it.
Yeah, it's good that they recognize they lost their footing, especially with the Ash kill. Just play it safe, go off your ad. It's probably the best choice, at least for right now, trying to get yourself back onto the point. Although it's dwindled. Skeets has already had, they've taken a little bit.
They just want to, they don't want to have to use to get this point. I don't blame them. With the way this point goes, I don't really blame them that much that they don't want to use, and the flank from Froyotech's getting very aggressive in the left house. Although, a lot of people
players all around.
sides. Yeah, a lot of weak players all around. So it's on the medics here to really make sure their team is equalized and healthy, and Witness is going to get the point off the spam.
Lolguy actually went onto the point to try to drop something, but take a little bit too much. Well, the Uber will eventually get popped because of that, and it's a way better Uber from the saddest Skis, trying to chase as many players as possible, but they are all out. Blaze trying to get any last damage, trying to collect some kills. But the counter initiation coming in, able to bust out, able to collect a kill on the Blaze. Counter initiation from Mirrorman, trying to get some damage as well, able to clean up Artist on his jump out, and is actually going to at least live for now. He jumps out and gets a kill on his exit. So not only is that a conversion, but Witness Gaming, they tried to bust out, and they had an ample opportunity to get some damage and some kills, but not quite enough to prevent the cap from going Froyotech's way. So even Ubers, they're able to bust it out through the door because there is no forward hold, so don't have to worry about that. But now the spam battle begins once again. It's, trying to get some damage in it, enough to collect some kills. Yeah, 5v5 at least for now. A lot of damage able to clean up Banny, and they're going on Habib now. The prime target drops very low. 30 HP, but they will clean up at least, well, not all of Witness Gaming, but no scouts trying to cap this point. Oh, that's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, Froyotech got really good spawns here, so they're actually going to be here for the refight, but Witness is going to take this, and they get their spawns here, so overall, not a bad play from Witness, so now they have Uber and the point, and it's on Froyotech here, and they have all their spam classes. The scouts have arrived, but Froyotech's just going to immediately recap. They're trying to spam this, and they do actually Uber to try to get this, but Skis is going to milk and pop pretty late, so now the Froyotech Uber is way better. They're going to chase down Brand Slam. Blaze is going to fall, though. They're trying to collapse, and I don't know if they're going to get much.
This Froyotech flank tried to go in and collect some kills, but it seems like the timing was a bit off. They tried to collect flank members, but the only thing they found was a retreating Witness Gaming Uber. So good job from Witness recognizing the calls from the flank, seeing that there was something going on up there. Free kills to collect because you're trying to look for as many people as possible, and they're still continuing. That train rolling Skis almost surfs away, but not quite able to get his man on the side of Brand Slim, and Laz there getting the Habib and Skis combo. So a little bit of a late spawn, but it's not going to stop too much. Actually, it's going to stop a whole lot. The fact you have to wait from those 6 seconds left, this is going to be rough for the side of Froyotech getting to this point in time. No overtime.
Lolguy might get, yeah, they can't even get to the point.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Lolguy's going to get this Uber, but it didn't even matter because Froyotech didn't have any point time. The point time kind of dwindles. It kind of dwindles a little slowly towards the end, but, if you don't have any, it doesn't matter. And it's going to be a 1-1 for Froyo versus Witness. So Witness, they kind of lost the first round in a little bit of a heartbreaker in double overtime, and they're able to come back and have a pretty clean round overall. Still close, but, it feels nice to get on the board.
If there's one thing that we've seen from the past, 4 Bagel matches that we've casted this season, is that it seems like every single round that's at least somewhat close is under 60 seconds for the losing team. So winning mid here is going to be extremely important. Actually, Merryman dropping very low, so going to be missing a little bit of spam from the side of Froyotech, so Witness Game able to get a little bit of cap time to try to get themselves an edge over this point. Vanny actually chasing down at the side of Ash, and yeah, they're trying to get something here, but Ash will jump away, get arrowed up.
Yite's chasing down Merryman. Merryman is going to live here, and look at Yite. He's just on the point, impersonating Vanny.
They got Habib with the pipe.
Oh, they got Habib with the pipe. That's massive, and they're able to get the point here. Now Froyotech has an uphill battle without their demo man to work with here, because the spam is just should hopefully go all the way of Witness Gaming if everyone's playing correctly, and it's top invite.
Yeah, I mean, Demo Man is going to be the main damage dealer. He is already here, so, it's not too much time, destroyed from them, but it could be a long battle if things don't go their way, but they are able to get Ash. They expended a lot of health, but they will collect packs and Arrow to be able to use as one player advantage. Trying to get some footing, but Brand Sam, trying to get some damage on Habib, will get flashed up to continue to live. The chase is on for the side of Vanny, getting as much damage as possible. They're actually going really deep. Lolguy popping the air and actually is going to eventually die. Will get collected. Skis, limit to the counter issue from Lad, able to collect that kill. 3v4 at least for now. So many players are still dropping Vanny extremely low. Actually, most of the team of both teams alive are extremely low because no medics, so
Yeah, I think this is going to favor Witness Gaming in the end. They're going to have their spawns just faster here to get the point. Unless Habib can have a miracle play with that trap, Witness Gaming should be able to recap this because they know that their medic spawn slightly faster. And it looks like that's what we're going to do. Froyotech does want to spam this, but actually, I might be wrong here because Ash is going to die immediately, so Habib does get that kill. And Froyo knows they have to be a little aggressive here, but Habib's actually going to drop very low. Skis is going to tank him, and there's a fight happening in the flank houses too, both flank houses, and Yate's gonna be hurt. He's gonna get blowed up, and Froyo's playing more aggressive now than I've seen him before. They're actively peeking the sides of the point, and Bane's gonna get punished for it.
He tried to get the Yite kill, but Yite was able to eat the arrow to stay alive. Now there's one player advantage for the side of Witness, but it's not a spam class, but it's just enough to be able to get themselves back.
Skis
to the cap time, but the flank from Laz making sure that not only Skis and Slim are collected. He wants more. He's just running towards the enemy team. Please kill me and put me on a respawn finder so I can be at my own last and be full health again. But that's quite the play from Laz, making sure that this point is pretty much secured for a long while. Not only is the time ticking down while the Froyotech approaches it, but they have full Uberad to work with if things go south.
Yeah, that Skis kill after they cap the point is massive because the look I had Uber. Here comes the Sax. They know they're coming and they're so far back. They're gonna get the point off this. Actually, they tried to pressure the point. Lokai doesn't even pop here, so I really like how far back Witness Gaming was. Everyone in the server knew Froyotech what they were gonna do, and they went so far back. Froyotech didn't really expect it. They know they got some point time, but they still sacked, expecting Witness to be a little bit closer, and Lokai was just pretty much out.
Froy's gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting with their approach if that's gonna be the method that Witness Gaming is gonna try to roll with, because that was pretty effective. But this Uberad, it's gonna slightly trickle down. He's gonna get a trap kill. Yeah, it's gonna be less spam for the side of Froyotech trying to get back onto this point. It's less bombs coming in, less house control. But Witness Artist a little bit forward, gonna be okay, but Ash barely getting killed. 3 HP, trying to escape. Ransom trying to save him, but a little bit too late. He is going to take some damage, but ultimately live at least now. Habib actually popped in the air. Gonna get cleaned up by the side of Yite. Yeah, I didn't even see what popped up in the air. Was that stickies or a rocket?
It was a rocket, I believe.
A dead demo man is pretty good for the side of Witness for them to hold on to this point in the long term, especially since Ubers are not one to be used. Blaze barely lived. The fall damage knocked him to 7 HP. That is a pretty rough scenario, but they're still trying to get some footing. Artist trying to put some damage onto the point to prevent them from capping, and Branson standing on it as well, but ultimately, despite all these picks, it still goes in Froyotech's favor.
Yeah, it took them so long, though, that Froyotech really wanted to just edge that cap and not use the Uber. Witness made them pay for it. They had to wait for so long, and both soldiers gonna fall, and here comes the Uber exchange. Looks like there are gonna be a lot of players inside each other's models, but no one really doing any damage because they're all invincible. And Witness Gaming realizes that the Uber's not as good. They're gonna back up, but Bandy caught out, getting a little too greedy, and here comes Blaze, gonna try to come in for the salvage, and he's not gonna get anything yet. He might get no, he's not even gonna get Artist. And Froyotech's everyone at Witness was like red health, and they're wiping in. Skis is gonna fall at the end. And this is not looking good if you're a Froyotech fan. This is very good for Witness Gaming, and Branson even typing out a Bandy question mark in chat.
Yeah, I think Lolguy got weak at the end of the Uber, so two Froyo players they went all or nothing really to try to get the Lolguy kill to get ad, but he took the damage, ate the pack, still lived through it, was A-okay at the end of the day. And same with Artist. Artist was full HP and lived through it, so they're in a pretty good spot. It seems like the high risk, high reward didn't really pay off for the side of Froyo, and now they're reaping the consequences. That's a lot of time back to working, but Artist is able to, be collected for the side of Froyo, so this is exactly what they need. Not only do they need to get this now, but they need to hold on to it for long term, and a Dome Undead is going to definitely help that. Branson falling as well. Uber coming out for the side of Witness, trying to get some footing back onto the point. It is converted to the side of Froyotech, though, trying to chase down as many kills as they can. Ash will fall. That was a small pause, lag, something, I don't know, but either way. It was probably
Artist is bombing at a skis. He doesn't get any damage off Demo Man class, just barely missed all of his damage. Now Froyotech is in a good position here. They do have Uberad and the point and a minute to go with. So it's on Witness Gaming. I haven't really seen Witness Gaming sack yet, and in the meantime, Froyotech is going to forward hold with 90% Uber. So Witness Gaming have a little bit of an uphill battle, but if they can get any sort of break going their way, they can get this round because there are only 11 seconds left, and Bay's gonna trade with Flaz.
This is what they want for the side of Witness. Get some kills, or at least the Uber get something to use your better respawners for and keep Lolguy alive. Uber getting forced out, gonna lose U8 for it, losing 3. But realistically, that's all you can really hope for if the other team has full Uber, especially if they're forward holding. Just use some players, expend some resources, get that Uber out of the equation so you can dry like you've been doing the entire match. And the time's starting to equalize a little bit. It's a little bit sketchy, but they do have full Uber ad to run forward and try to collect as many kills, or at least some ground at the very least to get this cap underway.
Here they
Uber will
come.
go out. Bomb from the side of
Oh,
Arch,
they're
trying
so
to collect as
in.
many kills as possible.
Skis
Flank
dies
from
instantly.
Ash onto Skis through the house, immediately melted.
Blazes in
3
the
dead all at
skybox.
the same time. Vanny trying to get a salvage frag in the log guy, but it's just Mirror Man left alive. And that flank play from Ash, making sure that not only were those kills collected, but they melted fast. It's gonna net Witness Gaming the third round, leading them 2-1 in the end of the half.
Yeah, Froyotech knew they couldn't give up the play for free, but the other team had Uber at it. It's almost like a lose-lose situation. Like, if you hold back and, try to get the force, they're just gonna cap and win. And if they fight the point really hard, they're just gonna Uber in your face and kill everyone. And Froyotech chose the ladder, and they just couldn't do it. The collapse from Witness Gaming at the end was flawless. I don't think they even lost anyone, and they managed to kill pretty much. I think they wiped Froyotech. So, not what you expect going into the half to have Witness Gaming up 2-1 over Froyotech on Froyotech's initial map pick.
For a team that didn't really practice this map too much throughout the season, just because they didn't really have any matches on it, they're definitely playing and executing in particular
They
as
look
if
prepared.
they have. They look very prepared. They are definitely recognizing a lot of the holes that Froyo has in their defense. I mean, it maybe even helped, honestly, that Froyotech already kind of showcased what their go-to strategy is for the side of Bagel. So, they had an opportunity to craft a strategy that they could think would work particularly against this team. So now it's time for both teams to try to adapt. It was pretty sketchy for both sides, under 60 seconds each time as per usual on Bagel. If you're the losing team, you had some time left on the clock, but not quite enough to collect the round. So every little thing counts, and even one change to win one fight over the enemy could be enough to net you the rounds you need to win this match. But let's look at some logs. You got a nail biter back and forth, so it's not going to be too unexpected to see a lot of similar stats, at least in some regards. But when you take a look at these, what's the first thing you notice? I think I already am looking at something in particular.
We see Skis with double the deaths of Lolgai, even more so. Lolgai with 3 deaths over 3 rounds, which is what you like to see, and Skis with 7 deaths, and a lot of those were, Ubers were because of Froyotech's positioning, he was able to. It wasn't like he was beefing and missing surfs. It was a lot of the ones I remember was literally just either at the end of fights or Witness Ubering in, and just because of where Froyotech was playing, Skis couldn't just live. There's no way for him to live.
Yeah, and honestly, I part of me doesn't even care about the Ubers. They're important, but because we're playing this map and the teams are deliberately taking just ages and ages to actually use, if you look at the Uber stat, it's going to be lower than at other Koth maps, for example. It's more just about making sure your medic is alive to be able to air you up and heal you, because if you're unable to be on the point for even just 4 seconds, that's a cap. Now it's going in the other team's favor just because of how fast the cap time is. So I don't even think it's about making sure you have an Uber charge per se, but it's making sure that your team is healthy enough to stand on the cap to prevent them from just taking it in a split second.
Yeah, it seems to be that winning the end of a fight really hard is the best thing you can do. Yeah.
Look at the Uber stats. This little guy had less, but he just lived more.
Yeah, to me it's getting the point is one thing, it's pretty easy, but if you can get the point and win the fight, that's at least a minute off the clock instantly, and you're already in the driver's seat. And that Witness were able to do that a couple times in the last 2 rounds, and I think that's really kind of what ended up having it go in their favor. They're able to get Skis at the end of fights after they cap the point, and then Froyotech has to deal with, Uber, and they have to get the point. It just wastes so much time, and Koth is all about making sure you have more time than the enemy, and or actually less time, excuse me. So, from my perspective, that's what happened. And I must say, this map is an absolute dream to cast. It's always close. It's always a nail biter. It's definitely, I'm glad it's been added to the pool.
Yep. It's always rough to see a 1 minute versus 3 minute timer and have to be yeah, the 3 minute team totally has a chance, guys. They're going to reverse sweep this round. So this is always a nice, change of pace from what you could see sometimes on other Koth rounds and other Koth maps. But we are going live into the second half. Both teams are done adapting. They've taken their water break. They've gone to the bathroom. They're ready to show up and try to secure this map for themselves. Starting the mid-fight. Spam going across both sides. Both teams taking the positioning on their respective high ground and house stores. Just trying to feel the other team out, get some good damage. Actually, Blaze taking the first sprint of it will eat the pack to stay healthy, at least for now. But no one really pulling the trigger quite yet. Actually, most damage onto Blaze again. So far, it seems like he's been a bit of the focus. Witness starting to push forward a little bit, actually initiating on Amir, dropping very low, 13 HP. Yite almost getting the kill, but gonna get arrowed up for the side of Amir, and Yite cleaned up. So one player advantage for the side of Froyotech. As I say that, immediately players start to fall as the trigger is getting pulled, starting to push forward, and it seems like Froyotech have gotten the footing they needed to get enough Witness gaming kills and make sure that this first cap goes their way.
But you know, they are down Mirrorman and they got the cap, so we'll have to see what happens. They know they have a tiny soldier advantage for now. Everyone's just kind of arriving right now, so if a Witness game want to do something, they might want to do it now, and it looks like they're just going to edge the point, which is a wise decision. Vanny going to fall immediately, trying to play top of the point. Blaze going to eat it direct, and he's going to be out too. He's going to barely live. Ash actually might clean him up. Now they're just going to back up, and Witness Gaming just take that point for free pretty much without anyone dying. Nothing happened. They just, you know, one
they
pick,
expended a lot of health, but at the end of the day, no frags going Froyotech's way. So good play from the side of Witness, making sure they got that clean lead. Froyotech are still trying to get their own footing, and Brandsam actually using the Uber. I could see that in his eyes. He ran forward after getting the flash off. Laz gonna fall in the back one though. Fall damage is going to collect that kill, and Witness Gaming are already backing up, or at least posturing slightly further back than normal. Yep, getting on top of the point, able to collect that frag, and a lot of space being created from the side of Froyotech, recognizing their advantage, but Witness Gaming back on the case, trying to poke around the point. They have their players up once again. Laz is rolled out, taking the pack, and is ready to fight if need be, and it's actually going to be a little bit of a dual double bomb onto Skis. They've missed a match where they need to land, though, but it does not matter. Laz gets his man, able to collect the frag onto Skis, and collecting 2 soldiers for a medic. You're definitely probably going to be pretty happy about that, yeah.
Yeah, you take that, you have 60% Uber to work with, and because Froyotech didn't have the point in the cap, your players are up instantly. So they're here, they're ready to fight. They might even try this and then just hold the point with Uber. I think that's the ideal situation if you're Witness Gaming, and I think that's what they're trying to do. And Froyotech knows this. They're going to try to spam it. Vanny's on top of the point again. Grand Slam is very low. Witness Gaming, they do have the luxury of time here in that they have a full Uber had to work with for a long time, and Froyotech has to be aware of this. Skis is kind of in a position to leave immediately. They do know this, so the heals aren't going to be as strong.
The spam. Players and Vanny on top of each other's models.
Oh, here they come anyway.
The packs. The Uber is going to be coming out, though. He's caught in his own house. Laz is going to fall, but the demo is good. The demo is going to be collected. He is going to be collected at the end of the day.
Blaze is caught too.
Yeah, but they're actually chasing a little bit the flank from Froyo.
They're caught in with him, and he's going to get the kill there, and he's going to live. He got a pack and a bow and something, and it's quickly turned into a very poor play for Witness Gaming. Now they don't have the point, and the other team has Uberad, so it might be on Witness to sack here.
And a little sloppy, but they're still trying to get some footing. It's almost capped and is actually going the way. Pop coming out of the side of Skis, running forward, and this Uber from Vanny, it's not going to get anything. Spare Ash, who overstayed his welcome inside his own house. But from the side of Witness, I'm sure they're happy getting the Uber out of the equation. The cap will go to the side of Froyo, but they have to be able to, they have to try to take this as fast as possible. But the Habib bomb immediately trying to go into log up before he's at 96, and he gets both Artist and Lol Guy inside each other's models. What a heads-up play from the side of Froyo, recognizing that if they waited too long, the Uber ad would come into the equation. They pulled the trigger, they ran forward, they expended a lot for it, realistically. Skis and many players of the team died in that whole regard. I think Laz was the one who collected the kill onto Skis once again. But they're able to make sure that at least the upcoming fight is more even than it is disad for them.
Yeah, while we're all looking at Habib, the flank of Witness Gaming managed to kind of really salvage that. So now it's basically a dry fight. Slemish is going to die instantly. He's not going to spell well for Froyotech, and they know it. They're holding back on plat, and Guy does have an Uber to work with here, but Froyotech knows he's not going to have it, at least for a couple seconds here, so they do have some time to take this dry fight and see if they can have anything their way. Witness Gaming do have some time to make up this run, so it's really on Witness here to make sure Froyotech doesn't just instantly cap this in it. So far, Brandslam's really aggressive, but he's going to fall, yeah, and Ash is going to fall too. They might Uber here? We'll have to see.
Down too many players. The chase is on for the side of Froyotech. 3 players left alive. Blaze on the chase, able to get the Artist kill, but not quite deep enough to be able to get anything more. So it's going to burn some time off the clock, which is pretty precious at this point, or reached under 30 seconds for the side of Froyotech. But Uber is going to come out, trying to... Oh, the shot from Laz on the Blaze mid-air, able to collect that frag. He is going to die, so 5v5 scenario for the poster, but the Froyotech Uber is just so much stronger. Ash going to fall as well from overstaying his welcome on I think he was on top of the point, but yeah, they pretty much have to. They can't really wait. There's 10 seconds, but they have to get some sort of overtime going. The bomb from Mirman is not going to quite hit the mark. He will eventually get cleaned up by the side of Yite.
They'll chase them, though. They don't have any point time. They're finally going to get a little point time, which is what they needed. And Froyotech's going to back up here. They know they have a number to decide, and the Lol Guy does have... Actually, Ubers are dead even, so Witness have to, really clutch up here and get
Blaze.
this. Yeah, the flank plays. Ash is gonna fall. Blaze is very hurt, but you know they do have a number to work with here, and Ash has a really long respawn, so it's on Froyotech here. Witness has to play perfectly and not let them cap, and Froyotech is just gonna try to cap.
Yeah, Laz kind of taken out of the picture. He's a little weak. They're trying to get on the point as much as possible. They can't let cap with the bomb from Blaze, making sure that Brian Sam and Yite are dead in the grave, and that's no scouts on the board. Unable to block the cap, and the round goes in favor of Froyotech.
I noticed that in the first half, Froyotech, I feel like their flank was getting walked at a lot, and whatever happened, Banny or whoever fixed the problem, because I noticed that the flank from Froyotech isn't getting nearly as walked at as much as the previous round, so halftime adjustments definitely coming into play, and again, massive bomb from Blaze, they're getting both scouts and securing the round, and with that note, on to the next mid here. We'll have to see if Witness Gaming has any further adaptations after that round.
Yep, gonna have to pull at all the stops here. We do have a bit of a tied game, and not too much longer until we see who gets the advantage going into round point. Yite dropped to 1 HP. Will get aired up and be fine at the end of the day, though. Not gonna initiate quite on it. Froyotech, they're actually going inside house, trying to land themselves onto Ash, but he will once again live.
Froyotech a little hurt here.
Yeah, this initiation's not really working out. Habib almost dying. He's actually standing on stickies, but it will not be enough damage to collect that frag. Gonna collect Yite himself, not without getting Banny in his last breath. So both teams down a scout. Not gonna really be too much of a punishment in their ability to spam, but maybe in their ability to stand on the point. Only really gonna have one healthy scout be able to do that. So a bit of a Brand Slam versus Banny battle. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of damage. It's gonna be bit hard for him to prevent Brand Slam from continuing this cap, but they are getting a lot of players onto it right now. Uber's still, this whole time, not been popped. They do not want to use it. Neither team. This is still a mid fight, guys. This is still a mid fight. This is still going on.
I wonder who's gonna get this. Bandy's gonna get caught out. That might signal the cap here. Now they're down their main caller. It's going to be a lot more difficult, and Froyotech knows they're trying to work the flanks here. Slumdish's trying to work the flank, make some space so Witness don't cap, and Witness still can't cap. The spam is insane, and they're going to actually lose Laz, but they did manage to buy some space. Maybe they'll get the cap here.
The Blaze flank!
The Blaze is so huge this game. He gets another 2K bomb, and he preserves it. And now Witness Gaming are going to have a tough time capping at all. And no one's still popped an Uber. These are the same Ubers from before, both medics, unbound, right-click, and Froyotech.
And the mid's over.
Froyotech finally gets the cap after what was one of the longest mid fights I have ever seen.
That's good from Blaze to recognize that when Witness Gamer are doing these double bomb plays, the people that are normally not focusing on house still don't focus on it at all. So he just waddles through and collects two people on top of each other's models. Brand Slam dropping very low. It's going to be a little bit slow to be able to get themselves back on this point. Froyotech standing strong, advantage him damage himself, so you have to back up.
Here comes an Uber.
But Brand Slam running forward. Get a B. He drops a no damage for this posting burn. Blaze and Mirrorman dropping his own. Stuff's happening on literally all parts of the map, across the point and in both houses. There's still a 1v1 that was happening in the other side of the house, and literally all of Froyotech's spare skis fall, and it was just complete dominance in that fight from the side of Witness Gaming on all fronts.
Yeah, heads up on skis to preserve his life there, realizing, oh, the fight's lost, I better live. So, Ubers are still relatively even. Loka has a small advantage to work with, but I doubt they're going to do anything off of that. And now they're kind of setting in a pseudo-forward hold. I think Froyotech's going to be able to push this here, but they're buying some time, and more importantly, Froyotech's going to have to eat a lot of spam here in order to get in. As we said, Blaze is going to drop that 3 health, barely live. We're going to drop 2, so immediately the Froyotech soldiers taking a lot of damage that kind of stifles their push here. They're all just standing around getting healed as they're prepared for this dry push or sack, whatever is in the cards.
Oh, now Blaze initiating in.
Almost
gets a shot. Yeah, Ash is going to live through that, so one player advantage. Yep. Laz going to die to fall damage after his initiation, and they're really trying to run forward for the side of Witness to put the pressure on the side of Frey. A lot of weak players on both teams. Actually, it seems like Witness is getting healed up a little bit. Skis though, 70 HP, going to be a bit of a spot, and he ate it direct across the map. He is 30. He cannot commit. He is very uncomfortable with the position he's in right now. That's going to leave a lot of Froyotech members not necessarily healed on the point, so it only takes a little bit of damage to stop them from getting this cap, but they are still going to get at the end of the day, despite Skis unable to tank them in any regard. So fantastic play from the side of Froyo. Despite the setbacks, they're still able to come out on top and make sure this cap goes in their direction. Witness Gaming, they're pulling the trigger, Ubering across the point, trying to get some damage on Habib. A little bit slow, though. He will eventually... Oh, Habib dropped 30 HP, but will eventually get the flash on him to continue living, and will probably get another arrow to continue to... Yeah, he's all good and healthy now, so Uber exchange out of the way. Yep,
Laz is going to bomb. He's actually behind. As Ash is bombing in too. Ash actually going to rebomb. The collapse is massive, but all the Witness Gaming soldiers are out in the low ground, but they do manage to get skis here, and they have good point time here, but Witness Gaming is going to back up. Little guy, Mirrorman's behind.
Oh, I think
he's getting chased by a scout.
Oh, body. Unfortunate.
So, now, Lolgai does have a big Uber at, and they have the point time here, so they should be able to cap this pretty relatively easy. You know, Skis is just spawning. Yeah, they're able to get it instantly, and now they have a full Uber at. This is what I mentioned earlier, that if you get a really good point cap, it can be very, very hard, and that can win you the game. And it's on Froyotech. They have a big Uber to set, and they have the cap.
And their soldiers literally just got here. Blaze isn't even there quite yet, so it's going to be rough for them to actually pull the trigger. Bandy getting on the point. He's caught somewhat, but the debt happens prematurely, and there's actually no damage on him to collect that frag. So the cap, yeah, I mean, it's a rough position to be in because Skis, yeah, he can't tank Bandy because he's afraid of the Uber, so that makes it different. Bomb coming in, getting the flank out, collecting at least the Ash kill, but expending a lot for getting Yite as well, so that's going to be pretty good for them. You really only expect at least the minimum to be able to get that Uber out of the way, but collecting those frags is going to make it easier for them to roll out faster. But I mean, it's the beginning part is to be expected. Skis uncomfortable with the disad, unable to play very far forward to make sure that the people on point are able to be tanked. So Bandy falling to be expected, but the sack coming in from Froyo, making sure they salvage the situation and put those lines in a good spot. Even though they don't have the point, the times are pretty similar, and they have a decent 50% ad to work with.
That was a really heads-up play from Froyo to sack there, because now they have Uber ad, and they're presumably get the point, but they're going to double sack, and they get that force instantly. They didn't even need the follow-up players, and they are going to die, but now they're just leapfrogging with the point, so it's going to come down to who has the point with Uber at the last second, it looks like, because
they're on the chase. They want to fight inside the lobby. They're just going straight into the enemy team's hall like they're in the ramp room, but there's no soldiers quite there yet. They're actually getting collected. A little bit too ambitious, and Ski's going to get collected by the side of Ash. Good play on paper in theory to do like a surprise, with the execution very, very sloppy, and Froyotech are playing with it, with many of their lives of Meerman getting the pickaxe kill on a Brand Slam. All right.
Skis typing the Minecraft in chat. And yeah, that was I like the theory from Froyotech. They definitely tried something new that we hadn't really seen before to, you know, full send everyone lobby to try to get the med. But, you know, it just didn't end up working in their favor. You know, the execution wasn't there, and Witness were ready for it. And now Froyotech have to cap that point, and they have full Uber, and here comes the full Uber, speaking of which, and they might get caught ahead here. There's going to be a lot of kills for Witness Gaming. No Skis kill, though. That's the important thing. Skis is going to have like 30% ad. It's not huge, but it might be enough, and Witness Gaming is going to settle to a forward hold, and this is a tall order for Froyotech. They have to get out of this forward hold very fast.
Yeah, this is going to be rough if they immediately lose one. If they lose one to this forward hold and don't get one in return, it's kind of... I don't want to Caster's Curse it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Here comes the last bomb. I think they're ready for it.
Oh, immediately getting cleaned up. They baited that perfectly. A lot of damage on a baby, not quite cleaned up, able to get the air off, and it seems like the execution from the side of Witness is going to just expend both their soldiers for nothing. The Uber is finally going to be able to come out from the side of Skis, be able to be used if needed, but it's going to be unnecessary, as after the 2 soldier kills, Witness Gaming have gotten out of there inside their own lobby. 80% have to wait for their soldiers to respawn, but Froyotech in the forward hold trying to lock this down and secure this round for themselves.
Yeah, they do. Witness Gaming does have overtime, though. Now they have full Uber, but Laz is going to fall. That's going to make it very difficult. He does respawn fast. He is going to be there in time for the post-end of this fight if Witness Gaming is still alive. It's on Witness here. They have to get point time, and they have to get some kills. This Uber exchange is going to be the most important Uber exchange so far. Oh,
and Brand's immediately falls. Their main Uber target has fallen, so now they have to take it on Yite. If Laz dies to a trap, they're dropping so many flies before they're able to actually pull the trigger and use the Uber. Gonna be able to get Banning at the very least. That's gonna be helpful for them, but they don't have the spam to make sure that Froyotech can back up
on the
off the top of this point, though. They can't get knocked off the top of it. It's just Ash, and he immediately gets cleaned up. Froyotech making sure that those projectile classes are cleaned up. They recognize the advantage, just plop themselves right on top of the point and make sure the round is secured by themselves.
Another nail biter. I think the main thing was, you know, Froyotech got out of that forward hold, and then, you know, once Witness bled trying to get in, it was kind of over. You know, they had the respawns, but they just couldn't get there, and I saw Froyotech standing on the point looking down, and I knew it was over. So Froyotech gonna go up 3-2, but this has been a nail biter. Now it's kind of Witness Gaming's turn to go back to the drawing board and see what they can do to get these last 2 rounds.
Yeah, they've got their weakness pointed out a little bit more in the previous half, so they're going to have to try to adjust some things. Seems like there's a couple execution errors from both sides of both teams, but more so from the side of Witness. So got to refine all that you possibly can to lead yourselves to victory. It's a very close match, and only a couple more rounds underway before we see who reigns supreme for this Froyotech map pick.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah,
let's look at some logs.
Yeah, looking at the logs here, I do see Habib. Last round, artist damage, and then it's Habib. And this round, it looks like it's a lot of Habib. Habib himself taking some damage, but overall, a lot of things. I'm not noticing anything too extreme, other than Lolgai only died once. Lolgai went 1-1, and Skis died 0-4, but Skis got the round, so, you know, Guy went even on Medic, but I guess those Ubers weren't, with 3 more deaths, Skis had 1 less Uber, which in the end of the day isn't that big of a deal. So Froyotech managed to figure out a way here for Skis to still die, but the Medic situation to be pretty much fixed.
Yep. I mean, realistically, even if you can't kill their medic, if you can kill all the other classes in a way that will make them unable to push and just have to kill time off the clock, then it's fine. Like realistically, if they lose Skis, but they kill like 3 of the other team, sure, like Skis isn't gonna be there for a sec, but he can still be scout sped up if necessary, and even then, Witness retaking the point off of that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be forever, because it just goes back to a dry fight. We've seen that things don't really spiral out of control when it comes to advantages. The only time that I feel like you see a team win and then set themselves up to win even harder is if they really commit to a forward hold, and even then, a lot of the times you see forward holds being executed on Bagel, they aren't necessarily clean cut and dry like
It's not like Viaduct.
really. Yeah, it's not like Viaduct where it's easy to execute in a way that you can do it more than once. I think most of the time that I've seen, at least in Invite at the very least, I've seen a team forward hold on Bagel. If the matchup isn't lopsided, you get like a kill somewhere. Like someone dies somewhere and then you use the better respawns to go forward. So even then, the snowball mechanic that you would usually exist on Koth where you just win and then win harder is even less prevalent. So
yeah, the forward hold on this map, it's good, but the bottom left door is so big, it's pretty hard to lock down, and that seems to be, everyone's kind of figured out now, that if you're getting forward holded, if you just send a bunch of players bottom left, as long as you can get through without eating too much damage, you'll probably be alright. It's just a demo, and the door is so big, it's kind of hard to walk through, and I think that's kind of what happened to Witness Gaming, that, they tried to forward hold Froyo with like 30-40 seconds left, and Froyotech would be able to just clear the stickies and kind of walk through the door. Not even Artist's fault, it kind of happens, it's a huge door. And Froyotech were able to get in, like, through the forward hold relatively, unscathed.
yeah, I think realistically, like obviously both teams are doing like really superb jobs at certain things and really, not really hitting the mark in others. And we've seen a little bit of a back and forth game, but usually when you see a victory or a defeat, you can kind of say like, oh, the team that won did a really nice play, or you can say, oh, the team that lost kind of, they kind of screwed up a little bit there. I feel like in this second half, for Witness in particular, it's been more of them. It's been more of an execution thing. I think we're starting to see a little bit of the fact that they haven't played against like many teams on Bagel this season. They really, I feel like they really only have like a plan A that's like they're super comfortable with, and there's still a lot to be done like in the works with some of the things they're trying to do. Like that forward hold they tried to do, their soldiers got hyper baited and it was immediately fed, and there was tons of time just ticked off the clock because the play didn't work. And then they tried to like rush across the point and do an Uber exchange, but it was read like a book because of the time that was left. It wasn't a surprise that it was going to be an Uber, so they like lost 3 people as soon as it happened because Froyotech was ready for it. So it seems like there's very like minute things about their execution that is leading them to like the flip, I would say. I think Froyotech has done a good job adapting, recognizing like, all right, here's Witness Gaming's plan A. Here's what we need to do to be able to put ourselves in the driver's seat instead. And they've succeeded. So now going into the third half, both teams have had an opportunity to kind of poke around and figure out your own weaknesses, but see what your opponents are as well. So it's going to be a nail biter here, I can only imagine, as we go into the last half of Bagel. This is the first mid.
Yeah, these mids have been kind of slow-paced. I mean, Bagel in general, the mids, they haven't really seen too many people just kind of exploding instantly. It looks like it's going to be kind of a similar mid, just people poking, prodding, trying to do much. You can't even cap the point yet, so I guess people think there's not that much to do. The Froyotech flank is getting a little more aggressive in this left house, but nothing too much going to come from it. Just people kind of spamming until they can get the point. Froyotech is going to take the initial kind of point thing here, but Laz is going to bomb onto Habib, get a lot of damage, and live here. So big play from Laz there, managing to, kind of buy his team some space. And Ash is going to fall. I didn't see what happened, but Ash falling is going to... And Witness is still in anyway.
Yeah, they know Mirror Man's weak, so it's still 5v5 at least for a couple seconds, and that's really all you need to be able to get on this point. But Blaze still in control of the enemy team's house because Ash is not quite there, so he's getting a lot of spam himself to make sure the Witness Gaming are not able to actually clean up the point and take it for their own. Mirror Man gonna get jumped on by the side of Laz. Laz jumping away, gonna be able to at least be safe for now. A lot of presence from Brandslam, just looping around the point and gonna live through it at the very least. So a lot of weak players on both sides. The scouts for Witness are extremely weak. Mirror Man tried to jump forward a little bit inside the house, will not find very much, but the cap will go to the side of Witness, which I would say is a little surprising. It seemed like they were taking a lot of damage at the very beginning of the mid, but they find a way to, take it out and put themselves on the clock starting ticking down in their favor, I guess.
Yeah, Witness lost a player. They're the only team I think lost anyone. Froyotech's gonna try to sack here. Someone got air shot, but Loyal Guy's gonna have to pop here. So there's the full set from Froyotech, and Slemdish is behind. He's gonna get cleaned up. So it's only Skis alive, but he does have full Uber. So, you know, Froyotech, I noticed that after I don't think they sacked much the first half, and they started doing it more the second half. I've noticed that Froyotech is more happy now with forcing Loyal Guy's Uber. They know that, you know, even if Loyal Guy's living the whole time, if he doesn't have Uber, it's still, you know, a lot better of a situation than they were in before. So, and Witness Gaming does this. They're going to do like a pseudo forward hold here. I guess it is kind of a forward hold, but they know that Froyotech has Uber here, and it gets popped, and they're in.
Yep, trying to chase down as many people as possible. There's no scout speed. Yeah, Banny decided to go back for Laz, so only Yite and Laz are going to die. They're actually going to lose Mirrorman as well. So yeah, Blaze very weak, but will live through it. But the Uber's going to be enough to get them some footing. Witness Gaming is not quite in the best position to be able to defend, but they're still kind of showing up, and they're waiting for the respawn as Mirrorman does spawn to get on the cap. Witness Gaming is still not in the best position to be able to block it. But they have their Uber ready to go if they so desire. Last couple players rolling out Laz and Yite have arrived, so they're kind of in the driver's seat to try to take this back for themselves, you know. And it's an interesting position. Skis, once again, uncomfortable to be too far forward, so Banny can't get really hyper tanked to block at this point as
they're just effectively. But they lose Grand Slam
at the very last second, and the spam from Blaze. Blaze is really recognizing this house is just always empty, just taking so much damage onto the point. And Witness Gaming, their Uber is dwindling. They're able to finally get Banny, so that's a little bit of a pick for them to use and finally get the cap. But they lose Yite for it though.
They do, yeah. Well, every time they get the cap, it seems, or try to get it, there's just a scout vaporizing to Habib somewhere. So Habib and Blaze are really coming in super huge. Blaze with the flanks and Habib with the sticky traps. And take it away, Jarrett. My game crashed.
Oh, all right. Well, Blaze once again putting some pressure on, but the cap will go the way of Froy. Just little leap frog back and forth. Weak players on both sides. Yite rolling out though, so didn't really have their full force to be able to block this. Lag's actually almost getting jumped on and killed, but will exit properly. And seems like Froyotech are still holding on to this strong, at least for now. Blaze actually taking a lot of damage. Will jump back to get some packs, and so far just a spam war. A lot of players just going back and forth. Take a little bit of damage, but not quite enough to actually die, at least for now. But the cap will finally go in the favor of Witness Gaming. Seems like they pumped enough damage to kind of flip it around. But Blaze, once again, with the damage, applying so much pressure just for his team to immediately recap it. The fact that this house is just empty and he can practically just live in it is crazy. He's actually doing so much work for his team right now. And Witness Gaming, they're not really recognizing that it's something that is being used against them to the degree that it is.
Unfortunately, I have an SSD. We're back. And looks like Witness Gaming, they do have, Fro does have the point here. Ubers are even. Branson's going to drop very low. Can actually die to a pipe from Habib. The Artist is so aggressive, they're going to get the point off of it, but they lose a scout, and they might get forced here. Froyotech might do a full send here, or they're just going to cap it back immediately. So all they did with the cap is kind of later that Artist is going to die. Now, actually, Mirrorman's going to die, so they do manage to get Mirror at the tail end of that. They're going to have a 6v5 to push here, but, you know, it's on Mirrorman. Laz is actually going to get very aggressive here too. They're just going to, they're just going to try to cap. I don't know if they're going to use this. Ash is 1 health.
Oh, we try to initiate into the house, but will eventually fall. So one player down from the side of Witness. We have a bomb coming in from Laz. Gonna be a little bit of fake bomb, though, not actually committing just enough space to actually drop the B very low. He dies to a roller across the map, unable to get the arrow or the healers to be able to live through that. So even Uber's leaves for now. Bomb from Blaze trying to land on anyone will not find success. The Uber will come up from the side of Witness, gonna try to chase down as many players as possible. Laz jumping in to make sure that Uber is eventually coming out, but will give up his life for it. But yeah, no Habib, no dome bomb coming in, so and Mirrorman wasn't really, I don't think he was extremely healthy to jump and chase either, so Banny immediately melting. Yeah, this cap is staying Witness Gaming for at least a little bit longer. The jump onto Ash, able to collect that frag into the house. Blaze just lives in this house, and it is his. There's no way that anyone else is entering here without dying, at least for now, but Ash falling, it's a 1-point advantage for the side of Froyotech. They barely get the cap in their favor. Bomb trying to get some more damage and more presence to shoo Witness Gaming away in this dry fight, pretty much even after the whole thing said and done. So Witness Gaming, they have the respawners. Ash, who died earlier, is now back, and they're in a spot to try to push forward. Actually able to get the kill on the Blaze. Never mind, they fixed it. They're able to go inside the house. Laz jumping forward.
Laz is gonna bomb Slemdish.
Yeah, he's getting some damage and some space, and Witness Gaming are moving forward.
Yeah, they're all chasing Laz. Branson's gonna die though. More people in Froyotech gonna die. And Skis, he barely lives. He had 20 health and he didn't pop that. And I have respect to Skis there, knowing that if he pops that Uber, it's over for them. Yep, pop it, don't drop it. And Skis managed to not pop it and not drop it. And here they come. They do have there's 3 more players to work with here, so it's on Witness Gaming here, and they know they're basically out. They're just gonna give this to Froyotech. They know they can't fight a 3v6.
Yeah, they can't Uber here. They'll just get the flank wrapped behind them for the post. So free point for the side of Froyotech, but there's a lot of time on the clock in favor of Witness. Only 4 seconds left, and then immediately goes into overtime. So Froyotech, you know, they got
Good
some time for themselves too. So this is a pretty good spot for both teams, all things considered. Uber will come out from the side of Witness Gaming. Actually, Bandy's gonna get dropped, so no scout to chase forward. Leap trying to bomb forward and get any damage he can, but they're gonna surf back and be a-okay. So no scout to be able to block this and hop on top of the point. Just some spam classes going in. A 3-man bomb. They're just full sending it, collecting so many Froyotech members. It is just Mirrorman and Slem left alive after the whole thing. Mirrorman causing a little bit of chaos. Slem collecting some cracks with the last death, but because the time is so low,
Flemish has to fight the point. It's the
better respawns though. The better respawns though.
Yeah, he does have a lot of hours at MG. Can he win this? It's a Scuffy Scout. Yeah,
there's too many people though. There's so many people though. There's no way.
Oh, they're gonna get it. Okay, Witness do they? Yipe want enough time though that they can go for the refight. Blaze is on the flank, but they're on the point here. Can they get this? They're on the point. They do have the point time. But the players are dying left and right. They're all in skis. They're full sending and they're gonna cap.
I cursed it. I could have sworn that Froyotech was gonna get that because of the better players that they had. I thought they would just make sure that Logai and Yite were so far back they could get some decent footing with the respawners, but Witness Gaming were able to make sure that they salvaged just enough. The Yite DM a little bit too strong to be able to collect that frag, and the heals as well to make sure he lives through it. So we're at a tied game up here on Bagel.
Yeah, Yite made the massive play there, just staying alive long enough that his team was alive. And yeah, onto this next mid. This is whoever wins this round wins the map 1, and gonna be a big advantage going into map 2. If Witness overturns Froyotech on their map pick, it's gonna be disastrous for Froyo. So we'll have to see what happens. Habib gonna drop low pretty much immediately. I think everyone kind of knows the stakes because no one's really doing anything. But speaking of which, Yite's gonna fall immediately, and that might signal some aggression for Froyotech. But they're gonna get Mirrorman. Laz is gonna fall on the trade, and
oh, the Ash flank on the
skis. He gets skis.
He finds the hole in the house to be able to go through and make sure the medic for the side of Froyotech has fallen. They expended a lot of resources for it. Actually, Brandsam falling as well. Artist might get caught depending on this. Yeah, he's caught out. Artist is dead.
So aggressive.
He eats an arrow too and still dies. But at the end of the day, Low Guy still maintains the Uber, but they give up the points. So first cap going the way of Froyo, but they have to prepare for the incoming Witness Gaming push.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Witness Gaming elects to use this Uber to get the point, or try to, be a little greedy and get the point here without using. Because the optimal scenario is, you don't have to use the Uber here, but Froyotech knows this, and they're gonna try to fight this. But and Skis is gonna drop so low immediately that might signal a push or something. And Skis, yeah, he's out.
Yeah, no heals on the point.
And Witness is just gonna take this. They're gonna kill Yite with a trap though, so they're gonna get Yite. And Artist is low. They're bombing everyone, and they're gonna have to use. They get kills here, but the Skis might have a big Uber at to work with here. Yeah, Skis is just out. And they have
Slem flanking, trying to get Artist will not find the success there. So it's actually crazy how often that Skis is far back, afraid from the Uber. So the Froyotech players blocking the point are not like super tanked and healed, but they still find a way to like collect a kill or get the force or whatever. I guess that's just the magic of sticky traps, but they're in a good position here. They are getting forward held against, but they do have an Uber worst case if they manage to get it not too much longer until that comes into play.
Super
but the bomb from Laz
soldiers
trying to land on anyone.
They get Slimdish. That's a pretty big pick to open up, and they get Blaze too. They get 3 kills there heading against the Skis' Uber red. But again, 2 players down, they back up. They know they can't kill that many players with their Uber. So massive play from the soldiers to bomb and somehow live. Bombing's one thing at getting the kills, but managing to live there is huge, and they managed to pretty much equalize these Ubers. They're at 90% here, and Froyotech, their Uber ad is officially over.
Yep, immediately, Brandsam running forward, trying to get as much damage as possible. Slem dropping extremely low over onto the side of the flank. A little bit of damage from the side of Beep onto Artist. Actually popped up, but will eventually be okay, and will probably need an arrow to continue fighting this. They got Bandy on top of the point, a little bit of damage onto him to knock him back, but Froyotech are starting to get some footing onto this point. Yeah, everyone's dropping deep into the right. The bomb from Laz, make sure that Habib dies. Skis Skis is inside.
He's so hurt.
Slem's model, and eventually Ash will go in off the distraction. Laz lived for so long, I don't understand, but eventually 2 players left alive for the side of Froyo, both red HP, unable to continue this fight. So Witness Gaming gonna let Yite spawn and then go ahead and get their cap, make sure their teammate is not extended, and this cap will go back in their direction.
Froyotech are gonna have to fight this fast because if Logai gets full Uber here, it's gonna very quickly turn into a disaster for them because they already have Witness Gaming already have a massive point advantage, and Froyotech knows they have to do something. But I am curious to see what they do. They might just sack here in full send to try. I think that's what they might do. We'll have to see. And Ash is gonna fall immediately, actually. So a heads up if you're Froyotech, they do have something to work with here. They're actually going to get the play for free, but Witness Gaming does this Uber, but Artist is going to fall to pipe
The
spam.
demo MGE!
Habib's so hurt, and he gets bowed. This Uber ad from Witness Gaming might dwindle. We'll have to see what they do with this Uber ad. They know they have it, and Skis knows that Skis is playing like he wants to leave, and they know this. They're going to just edge the point. The Blast is going to follow a trap.
It's just traps. The pick after pick after pick is so good for the side of Froyo.
Great
Blaze
on
actually
Logai.
bombing in to try to get anything for his team. A little bit of damage on Logai. It's going to make him passive, though, because Logai has to go for a pack. These people cannot actually get onto the point and continue fighting. So just more time after more time after more time. Each of these picks is just letting Skis get his Uber if he needs it. Artist is going to fall once again, losing a little bit of demo MGE that is happening across the point. So just the frags over the spam war just goes in Froyotech's favor 4 times in a row to actually
Habib is
equalize the
clutching
time. They literally equalized the time in their favor from just dry fights. Brandsam dropping very low, almost dying as well to be the 5th frag in favor of Froyotech in a row. Ubers are available from the team, but we've already seen throughout the entirety of this match that is not going to use unless that's the last resort. Actually, last resort coming in, Bandit drop low, almost drop Artist, and he will eventually fall. So like 2 frags, Blaze is going to die inside of the house, but Laz is going to fall as a long guy. Getting flanked by Mir will eventually have to pop Mirman, giving up his life for that, but make sure that Uber is out of the equation, and that is so far gone. Froyotech still have some footing. They haven't actually capped quite yet, but I think they know their window of opportunity is when their better respawners show up, and I think they've kind of realized that, yeah, Blaze is here, the rest of the team is here, gonna go ahead and get on the point, get that capture up, and get the clock back in their favor.
This round was looking all Witness Gaming, and then Habib just, I don't know, he opened his third eye and just got pick after pick after pick. And Witness Gaming are going to try to edge this cap. They get a lot of point time here, but the Froyotech time is dwindling down, and they don't have any like advantages here to work off of. Witness Gaming players are getting healthy. They're going to keep trying to edge this cap. It's on Artist, and Brandslam's going to fall immediately. Ash is going to get accidentally airshot by Habib.
But Skis still eventually dies, so they're full sending it. Logai is just out of there. They are banking on an Uber ad push. Their play, Witness Gaming, is alright, full send it, sack, use the better respawners, come in with Uber ad, and then kill enough players to hold onto it for the full amount of time. They're going for the snowball here. That's their strat.
Habib dying there is almost as massive as Skis dying, because now they can get into, you don't have to worry about dying to stupid Habib traps that have been their absolute bane this round. So now, it's on Froyotech, these sacks. If they do, here they come. Here comes the sacks. And a pause?
No, that's the
lag.
round
oh,
end
that's
lag.
round end lag. Well, guy's gonna get forced, but they're only gonna lose Brandslam for it, and Froyotech's actually gonna recap. But Les is under the Skis, and he can't get the kill. Skis is gonna drop solo.
The flank from Slem. He gets Logai at the very last second. He looped around all the way through the house and made sure that Logai is fallen. So now, despite the low time on the clock, not only they have to wait for Logai to spawn, so that means Froyotech gets overtime, number 1. Number 2, these players that are immediately going to meet Blaze and Banny and Habib are not buffed. Logai is barely here. They're trying to hide and preserve their crit heals, which means there's no forward spam on the side of Froyotech. They're through these zeros completely for free, and they have plenty of time to make sure that they get this Uber for themselves. Immediately, Laz trying to get some damage on him here. Able to click the frag. They're just full sending it. They know they have to fight when this Uber comes into play. They expended so many resources, though. Able to maybe clean up Habib, but yeah, will decide against it.
Back up. Actually, with Uber.
But the Uber will come into play, and the Froyotech respawners are better all this time. They already have their entire team alive for the post Uber when it eventually is used, and Yite immediately melts. It's just Artist and Logai up, and they have to fight versus an Uber and hold on to this point forever. Artist will eat an arrow, but it's not quite enough, and after all is said and done, the Froyotech execution just a little bit more on top to bring themselves to victory in this nail-biter of a 4-3 Bagel game.
Absolute nail-biter. In the end, Froyotech manages to get the victory. That round was looking so good for Witness Gaming, but as I said before, Habib just... I think Habib's the MVP of that round. Maybe the whole match, but definitely of that round. Habib
was the MVP of that round, I think, for sure.
Definitely.
I think other times maybe it was Blaze, because yeah. I don't know if the camera caught it. He abused that house so much. There were so many times I was like, all right, Witness will take the point back here, and then Blaze just did a thing that just stopped them single-handedly by himself.
Yeah, it's the explosive classes, really. Mirrorman had a quietly okay game. I didn't see. He was getting ran at by the flank a lot, but after that, like, a little bit of a disastrous first half, I feel like Mirrorman really cleaned it up and, was making space, doing things, but I agree that the standout players for that map were Habib and Blaze. Blaze just, again, showing why he's been so dominant for so long. He's just an absolute terror to play against on the flank.
And I think hats off to, for keeping as close as they were. The side of Witness Gaming, I definitely am looking at Laz in these upcoming matches. So far in the previous matches that we've watched Laz play in, I think he's been kind of the MVP more often than not. I want to say out of I say if you give like an MVP to the Witness gaming matches, like 50% plus of them are going to be Laz, and I don't think this map was any different. He pulled out a lot of plays. He lived for so long to give so much room for Ash to clean up and bomb as well. And it was the unsung hero, the martyr that died, but made sure that he got his man more often than not, and definitely was a contributing factor that made the match as close as it was. But at the end of the day, Froyotech will take their map pick, and now we move on to map pick number 2, a very different map from Bagel. It's going to be Metalworks, which was Witness Gaming's pick. I'm pretty sure both these teams have had a little bit of experience on these maps when it comes to matches being played, but I guess it kind of makes sense why you would pick Metalworks if you feel comfortable on it, and then you look at your opponents. I think out of all the maps that Froyotech have played this season, Metalworks is one of the ones that, they win their matches, sure, but it's a little shaky. I think they dropped like 2 rounds to Portland. They dropped 2 rounds to Ford. So if there was a map that you were gonna try to beat them on, Metalworks is not a bad choice. I think it makes sense on paper.
Yeah, I know Froyotech, they had a little bit. They had some oopsies in scrims a week or two ago where they were dropping, getting 5-1 by other invite teams on this map. So again, if there's any team that can clean up a map and figure out what are we doing wrong, what can we fix it is Froyotech. So I'm not super worried about them, but I will say I think Witness had a pretty on point map pick here, and Froyotech might have realized it. Maybe they know that this is gonna be an uphill battle. But it is 5 CP, and I think historically that's been Froyotech's best game mode. I think Koth has been closer than 5 CP. Froyotech's had a lot of very dominant matches on this game mode, so I'm not going to count them out on this map.
We're also going away from the least snowbally map in the entire pool as well. So if all you need to do is, if you can get one thing good for you, that can net you around right off the bat. We're playing Koth, right? Or watching Koth. One team makes a giant play, it sets them up, it knocks 30 seconds off the clock, they're in a fantastic position. Cool. They can still lose the round if they screw up later. But this, you do well enough, you get that last immediately, the point for you. So good job, everything's reset. So it's going to be, back to the good old, mids can really reign supreme if you can be good at transitions, but if you're never going to get to play them if you don't have the mid fights under wrap. So it's going to be curious to see how that kind of goes. I think Metalworks is usually, I guess in comparison to other maps, it's usually more of a soldier map. Like,
I agree.
You don't necessarily have like fantastic places to land per se, but the fact that the skybox is literally huge all over, and there's plenty of indoor locations that make it really easy to lock down doors just with spam to be able to contribute in some way. It definitely is pretty good, and I think it's safe to say after so many seasons that obviously everyone contributes to a victory, right? But at least in Froyotech's history, a lot of their victories you could point at either Banny or Habib as being like, oh, well, one of them did like really good in particular, so that's why it was like a really one-sided match. But this is a map that doesn't necessarily favor them as hard. Scouts don't really necessarily have a lot of a playground to work with, despite having a little bit of flat ground, just because it's extremely indoors. You can get caught really hard, and there's not really tons of room to move around. You get caught by traps and things like that really easily. Devilmen are really challenged with their backwards transitions because there's a lot of things indoors, and the skyboxes are so huge. I mean, you can use the skyboxes just to jump away, I guess, but realistically, you're not going to be able to always use them. You're trying to leave house, you're trying to leave lobby or anything like that away from an Uber. You could find yourself caught if you're not too careful, so it can be difficult for a lot of Devilmen to live, I think, division-wide, because even if you get a little bit better at recognizing some stuff, your opponents get much better as well, so it's going to be really interesting, and I think a lot of eyes are going to be on a lot of the Froyotech members to see how well they're able to do after their history this season on what was maybe like, I guess this is an opinion, but probably one of their more shaky maps.
Yeah, I'd agree with that sentiment. I think another thing on this map to note, to your point that's a soldier map, is that this is one of the maps where you can't really lead through a door as a scout. Like, you can, but you're going to be in for a sad time. The spam, it's so easy to spam doors in this map that you kind of have to have other classes clear the doors for you unless you're getting 185 beamed through the door. It's kind of just a sad time if you want to try to get through the door first as the scout class. So I definitely agree that this is a soldier map. So I think if any player on Froyotech is going to have a really standout game, I would guess it'd probably be Blaze and just the flank in general. It's not like a super flank heavy map, but it's definitely one of those maps I think that if anyone's going to have a standout game, it's going to be Blaze. And also, if anyone's going to have a standout game on Witness Gaming, probably going to be Laz or Ash, or the combination thereof. I think their soldiers are probably their most stable players on Witness Gaming in terms of, game impact. So I'm expecting big things from them, considering this is their map pick.
It's really interesting because I feel like the last year or so, it's when you look at like, all right, who's the dedicated like playmaker, who's gonna go do the thing that like salvage for their team or like leaves them in a good spot. It's been Yite for a long while, but now it's kind of transitioned. Now he has been like he's not going for as many plays unless it involves one of his soldiers, and sometimes the play is instead just a double soldier bomb to sack your soldiers, collect the demo or medic or something, sell out in that regard, and then they can come back later. Um, it's going to be definitely helpful for them, seeing as soldier is you definitely want your soldiers to perform really well on this map. And actually, you mentioned something earlier that I also I didn't really think about as well with the whole door thing. It's even it can be not a great time for scout, but it can even be less for soldier because if you're trying to milk through like a tiny doorway for whatever reason and not just pop immediately through it, if you're the second string person going in playing soldier and the spam is like, oh, they're pushing this door and they spam it, it can be hard to get your jump off or get like a clean entry because your movement speed's so low. You have to like bomb through it and then like you can get propelled and it's kind of wonky or like it's just not necessarily a happy time. It's usually soldiers will just abuse the skybox, make space, get yourself through, and try to do the best you can. But I think regardless of transitions, it's like I said before, realistically, like in the grand scheme of things, it goes back down to mid. We just got done playing Koth. Whoever won the mid didn't necessarily won the round overall. I actually don't know the over and under on that. I didn't really like look at
Yeah,
the logs too closely.
yeah.
Yeah, I
The
wasn't
mids
paying
were
attention.
so slow paced. They were
Especially
such
that
long
last
mid.
one. That
They were
last one
such long
lasted
mid fights.
forever.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's like we said before, if you can find yourselves being successful on mids and obviously your last pushes, your transitions and backward transitions don't really matter too much because it's just a dry fight and then a last push over and over again if you are that dominant. So it's going to be really interesting what both teams kind of came out or going to come out with their idea for how they're going to win this map mid fight wise. I'm when I think about Froyotech mid fights, I actually don't have a lot of experience watching them play Metalworks recently. So I'd have to go like years past. The only thing I can really think about is the way they play on Villa, which is very baity and counter initiating. They try to live for as long as possible, put out damage. They counter initiate when the other team goes in, and they try to play reactionary. I think for the side of Witness, I feel like they definitely full send.
I was gonna say, this is one of those mids where people, as a stark contrast to Bagel, this is pretty much as opposite as you can get. Where this is one of those mids where people just explode instantly. It's like that goalie match we casted recently, where people just walked into mid and exploded.
True.
This is another one of those mids that's kind of like that, where we might just watch mid and someone might just make it to mid and then instantly just like kill behind. It just happens. So
just like the gully wash match, it's soldiers and demos just can just win the mid for
exactly.
your team.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really on the projectile classes to, have that game impact, go for big plays, but also not instantly die while doing it. It's also on the scouts to make sure their friendly explosive classes can stay alive and they can clean up on the damage that they're doing. So it's gonna be interesting to see pretty much the exact opposite flavor of mid. That's what I'm excited to see here.
Yep, I think it's going to be a battle of adaptation realistically for setting the mids. I don't know about the match in particular, but I feel like what's going to happen is Witness Gaming is going to full send. They're going to bomb with both their soldiers onto Habib to try to eliminate him because you don't want a Doman to like rain down your parade and just like shove you out of the mid entirely. And they're going to just try to play off of superior spam and positioning with scouts and their own demo themselves. And the side of Froyotech, they're probably just going to try to counter initiate probably eventually, like I said before, and just make sure that as many of them live as possible and that the soldiers do die as much as possible so they don't get extra damage. And if anyone tries to run forward to help the soldiers clean up kills, then they are punished heavily. So I guess I'm mostly watching Ash and Laz for mids because they're going to be the ones double bombing for the most part. And then I guess it's going to partly be on the counter initiation of maybe like Blaze and Slim, I think. Well, no,
Yeah.
actually, no. Slim shoots soldiers a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be both soldiers then, because Slim's not going to run forward per se. I don't think he does that very often.
Yeah.
Unless he needs to.
Yeah. I think we are waiting just the artist to reset his net. Bandy is going to throw a little BM with some people can't handle 80 ping with a frowny face or one of those kinds of faces. So I think that's what we're waiting on. And when we have 6 players in the server, we have the good old pregame classics. We have skis on spy. We're just all waiting here. And I had a thought and I just totally lost it, so you go, Jerry.
Well, maybe it'll come back to you. Yeah, I think we're waiting on them messing around with their ping. I think Artist's routing to this server is slightly higher than normal, and he's trying to figure out if he can get it to be any lower before we actually start. I mean, the ping is playable, but realistically, if your ping is like 50 higher than it should be or
Yeah.
something like that, you'd take a minute or
He
two
had
to get
50
that
ping
fixed.
last map, and 80 ping could definitely... It's a noticeable difference, I'd say. 50 to 80
Agreed.
ping. 80 ping, like, is a very unique feeling, and if you're not used to it, it's a sad time. Like, Banny's used to it because he's played on it for forever, but, yeah, we'll have to see. We do, I do like watching... You know, not surprising to note that it's mainly the medics who are off-classing. Ski's actually back on medic, but, yeah, that's what we're waiting on. We do have the Slender Sniper. You know, just
We
thinking
are
about
live
this...
and under 60 though. That's good
Ooh,
news. We have
hog.
the secret info live under 60.
Now I remember my thought, just as it's too late. But one thing I was going to note was, you think this is a map where we're going to see a lot of players going behind, mainly like Laz and Yite or Blaze and Slumdish? You think this is a map where people are going to go behind a lot?
If there's transitions, I would be surprised if there were not people behind. The skyboxes are so huge, even if you somehow don't feel comfortable as a scout snaking behind, if you want to go behind as a soldier, you will find a way. There will be a wall you can bomb off of to just land yourself completely far and gone on the other side of the map. The question is how often will they do that as an actual strategy? For the side of Witness, probably relatively often. Their bread and butter for 5CP has been, let's send Laz and Yite behind instead of getting forces. Like, that's been their thing the whole season. For the side of Freyo, it's not as much, but maybe a couple times, it's favorable for the map.
Yeah, we even saw the rare Banny go behind, and I do remember back to what Banny said, where he got tired of chasing the forward players around the map, so we might have a similar theme where it's just Banny chasing players around the map behind. And on that note, we're on our first mid. Witness Gaming did win, or Witness Gaming did lose the first map, so Froyotech is up one map, and we're on map 2. This is Witness's pick, CP Metalworks. Take it away, Jarrett.
Getting some spam across the point, and full sending it from the side of Froyotech, actually. They're the one pulling the trigger, but the soldiers immediately getting weak, and Mirrorman and Slim are going to immediately fall. It seems like they tried to go off of the damage that Habib did onto Arts, but will not be successful in that endeavor. And at the end of the day, they just really try to go off of the early damage that realistically was gone by the time they even got there. Artist was pretty much full with an arrow, so weren't able to find their mana, dropping 3 for it. That was a really, really quick mid win for the side of Witness Gaming. So
Yeah.
3-2, and even Uber's trying to break their way into Froyotech's last.
They did get the consolation prize that Habib and Skis did not vaporize, and that's kind of like the bare minimum of mid you want. Is you don't want Skis to vaporize, you don't want... Laz is going to have a very sad sack on the Slumdish because there's a level 1 shooting him. Yite's also going to have a sad sack on there. They do have Slumdish on Sniper. Blaze is going to...
Blaze
he got the
snuck
force?
through. I didn't even see where that was. It was probably like bottom left or shutter or something. I'll see it on the stream later,
he
but
just
it's
pogoed
successful force.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but that's a massive play from Blaze. Again, Blaze really showing how much of an MVP he is on a roamer, going in, constantly making huge plays, and gets a big one there. Now, Froyotech do have to deal with maybe a back-up attempt. They do have a Blaze kind of on last respawning, but it's on Witness Gaming here to send Sax to do something. You're going to send both soldiers. Not going to get much right now. Last is actually, or Ash is going to live. They did buy some time to build some Uber for mid, but Froyotech, no, they still have a pretty sizable Uber to work with. They have 30% before it starts dwindling. Nobody behind either, so Froyotech are going to try to fight this. I think Witness Gaming want to fight this. They know that they have 82% they're about to get Uber, but they're actually going to back up.
Oh, Ash, really weak in the air, will eventually die, overstayed his welcome just a little bit, and it seems like the window of opportunity for Witness has dwindled. So Froyotech doing a good job of making sure that kill is secure, and they're actually on the move, trying to use the one-player advantage to maybe get a force of their own, or force an Uber exchange if it looks favorable, but definitely trying to do something off this pick nonetheless. Trying to poke around, Blaze is going to bomb in, trying to land on Artist. He's actually behind, pops Artist up there, gets enough room for Sled to go behind. He's also have 2 behind now, causing a lot of chaos for the side of Witness Gaming to try to deal with immediately, trying to go for the flank, but oh wow, Blaze and Slem immediately falling down too.
Habib's gonna drop very low there. Last is actually gonna fall. Did he?
Oh, Habib's caught.
Oh, they get Habib. I don't know what Last died to, but they managed to get Habib, and Witness Gaming is full sending. He's gonna try to get the force. Actually hits the wall shot at the low guy, but low guy is gonna milk and live with 50 health. Bandy's gonna try to go in for a salvage. He might get caught out here, and he's gonna get caught out. And you know, Skis had to use, and this is just a disaster for Froyotech. Witness Gaming is gonna take mid, and they have super huge Uber to work with here. And we're gonna see if they get any off classes. They're gonna deny Mirrorman and Banny, so no real. They're down a soldier and a scout means that retaking the second is gonna be pretty free unless they have to deal with a single soldier bomb or Habib stickies. Hopefully they find him, and Habib that's immediately.
Yeah, Witness is snowballing really hard after that thwart of the flank play on their own too. It's gotten them all the way to the opposing team, and they still technically have a small ad if they just want to leave one and go. Seems like being a little bit slow, but they're still open to using it. It looks like they're trying to pick a door, trying to figure out which one they want to go through. It looks like it's a left side door, but it's only 10% at least for now, and there's a pyro too.
Pyro.
Skis is definitely going to get this here, but the pyro is
oh
no,
no,
he died just barely. What? There was only the pyro with him, and he just fell. What?
All right, I think a rocket came in, but Little Guy's gonna die here, but it's a 4v3 on the point. Laz is on the point. Are they gonna be able to get this? There is a sentry gun still in play. It's in spawn though, and they're gonna die. There's so many people left, but they're all spawned, and Witness Gaming is gonna get the first round, going up 1-0 here on the thing. And that was a, I don't know, but Skis, did he have Uber? I don't think he did.
No, but I feel like my chat would say that he died at like 96% or something. Oh, okay, he did, I guess. I just
he just died instantly,
all
literally
right, yeah,
instantly.
He just melted. Well, that's a round secured for the side of Witness. That was a bit surprising, but at the end of the day, a round's a round. So going into this next mid, it was pretty one-sided for the side of Witness game. They're able to thwart the Froyotech aggression. The damage was immediately healed up
Habib's
onto
take some
Artisan.
Early damage. Oh, Habib's taking so much early damage. Froyotech's trying to go top right, is getting vaporized. Look at Froyotech's health. They lost this mid.
Yeah,
Blaze
weak
they
too.
can't even arrive at mid. They're just
Counter
dying.
initiation though, chasing on a little guy, but immediately cleaned up by the side of Branson. Mirror Man unable to find anything there.
Look at Blaze,
still,
he's in
he's
house.
Still around.
He's
gonna flank on
He's gonna go in, trying to get Artist. That was a heads up play, but unable to get the kill. The timing is just off. But you know, I could see what Blaze is thinking there, what he's going for. But yeah, these Froyotech mids, it's almost like they feel like they're gonna lose mids. They're just sending people to die to hope they get something. Their mids are very strange.
This is like the exact opposite of how I've usually seen them play
it's usually the other way
maps
around.
like these.
I think it shows that they might feel very uncomfortable on this map. You know, like we said, it is Witness's map pick, so I feel like Froyotech, they look uncomfortable. Like, they make changes in the halftime, but so far my initial impression is not positive for Froyotech, which is almost never happens.
Yeah, Witness Gaming are on the opposing team's I guess
not
not really
Sniper,
on their last, but yeah, I got Slum on Sniper getting that kill, so no stack will come from the side of Witness Gaming. Gonna go ahead and back up and stay outside and get ready for what Froyotech has in store, but they're actually gonna go. They have a gun they have to deal with. The Sniper's not really peeking too deep. Ash is already up, so doesn't really look like Froyotech's gonna do too much except maybe see if Slem can get some sort of pick.
He's taking an aggressive angle. He does have this like corner angle to peek with. Ash almost
he rolls out to his death.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him going and it's like, oh, he's gonna die on the rollout. He did so. Slem just making Ash repeatedly unable to play the game.
Oh, the flank.
There's
the shutter.
Sentry gun in lobby, but they're gonna lose so many people. Artist is gonna die. Everyone's just vaporizing.
Yikes!
And they're on last.
The Uber is forced because they have to get on. Actually, I don't know if he needed to. Well, I guess he got weak. Yite shot Skis, so Skis felt like he needed to pop for his own health, not for blocking the point.
I can see it. After he dropped last time, I think he kind of felt like that. I will say, and of all the players to move a sentry gun up the lobby, Banny is not the player I expected. They had a level 1 building and lobby. It's very rare to see Banny do something like that in the match. So it was a pleasure to see, and now Witness Gaming have full Uber pushing into last. Bandy's still an engineer, but and Slemdish on Pyro on the right side of the map. So we'll have to see if they push into the Slemdish Pyro again. Last time didn't work out for Froyotech, but I think they had the right theory on having the Pyro there.
Yeah, the execution was a little bit poor,
He's dying
but
instantly.
he immediately melted, was unable to get anything off in terms of thwarting the enemy team. The gun will eventually fall as well. Trying to get as many players as possible. Counter initiation, able to clean up Artisan last. There's so many players dropping to the side of Witness Gaming right after this post for Habib. Will eventually fall. No, he's on the point. Yite is going to fall as well. So 2v3 scenario, and I think Brand Slam and Lolguy have realized it's a little bit more than they can, deal with right now. So going to back up, leaving to the enemy teams too.
They want them so bad, and they want to get in second. Skis does have this full Uber to work with. They're not even capping second. They know there's no back cappers. Those only two got out, and the aggression from Froyotech because they just know. But Witness Gaming wants to do something here. They want to spam this. They want to do something here. But Froyo has this full Uber to work with. They might be caught out. They're so close.
Yep, the chase is on. It seems like a little bit of flank play inside house at least might be prepared. Yite is going on the move. Will eventually get clean. Oh, never mind. He cleans up Mirror Man. He can 1v1 from the Slem. Slem is at 2 HP. The Uber was not used though for the side of
Blaze.
Blaze is gonna fall.
Too.
Yeah, Laz gonna die for it though. So 2 dead on either side. Even Ubers, and this is going to be rough for Froyotech to stay in the long run, but still technically possible if they can get some good damage here, but the respawn is just going to get to this point.
Slaney's dead. Slaney's might be caught out too. He's going to trade for Ash, but Brand Slam's also hurt. It's up to who can get the scout kill. And Both are going to actually end up with their meds get equalized, and now it's Artist who's low. But Bandy's Slendish is going to die for it. They traded skis pops, both medics pop actually, and it's whoever can get their respawns faster. And Witness Gaming do have the respawn advantage here. And Brand slams in the collapse. They're in, but it's just 2 scouts in the house.
Oh, they're so greedy. They went into house away from their force, and it's just Laz trying to get. Oh, he's able to get him. So that's a little bit of a salvage there to make sure that even though it didn't necessarily go your way, or at least able to get skis, that was a roller coaster. Things are really looking really rough for the side of Witness. They're able to make sure that Uber's in their favor, collect both those scouts kills, but they just went so deep. They met the entirety of the Froyotech people rolling out inside lobby there and really, you know, bit the bullet for it. So they're rolling out. They want to fight this once again. They know that 2 people are not quite there. One of them, being Skis in particular, he is unable to heal these people at mid.
He's just arriving now. And Ash bombing to make space, and they're able to get through the door, which is problem number 1. Habib is going to drop super low to a pipe, and Habib is... So her Artist is going to die for it, so they do have the demo advantage. Yite's pushing under the point with low health. He's just in. Yite's in. He gets Slendish. I guess he's making space. Yeah, here comes Artist with the bomb again. And they're still fighting this, even though they don't have a demo. I guess they don't feel like they need him. And no scouts, and Habib's caught out too. There is a Froyo soldier in, and he's going to get something. He's right next to Lol guy, but it's just, in the end... Witness Gaming gonna come up and get this cap, but not before Froyotech do get a forward spawn from Slemnish. No off classes though, and he does leave spawn, but Witness Gaming do have a 3-player advantage to work with. Just barely though. They have to get in really fast.
Yeah, they have their own players rolling out as well, so they don't actually have the players to work with quite yet, but Slumnish is almost
he
caught.
Caught himself.
He caught himself, but the door control, not quite there. Artist literally
Uber,
just got there, immediately popping through. Habib popped in the air, gonna get pretty low, but will be flashed up and continue to live.
Bandy's chasing.
And Artist is very weak.
Brand Slam's caught though. You get Brand Slam, and Froyotech might go really aggressive off this 1-pick advantage. It's a scout though. They're gonna struggle to get through the door, but if they can, it might come up Froyotech. We'll have to see.
Yep, they still got some spam to work with for the side of Witness Gaming, trying to thwart the enemy team.
Push bomb.
Yep, bomb coming in, getting some damage on the last, pushing back. Ash will fall, standing onto the point. Artist almost falling. That's not the door, that's a wall. Artist will fall. Unfortunate for him, and that's 3 drops for the side of Witness Gaming. Froyotech making sure that 1-player advantage snowballs into something much more.
So
yeah, they're on the chase. The rest of the team is moving forward to try to take the enemy teams too. They're actually inside lobby trying to make sure that there's no way that Witness Gaming is able to take any control of anything besides their own last.
Yeah, the leapfrogs and like the rolls in this game have been massive. Every time some team gets an advantage, we see a team try to go through 2 or 3 points at minimum. So both teams gonna arrive at Uber. We do have the Putis to deal with, but Froyotech's kind of almost dry pushing. They get a Laz trade for plays, so both soldiers just kind of die. And it's gonna end up equalizing. No sentry for Witness Gaming, interesting enough. I'm surprised, but maybe they just wanted a heavy because they knew Froyotech was gonna sack.
Yep. Actually gonna get a... never mind. There was gonna be a gun that was gonna be up, but Mirman trying to go for a bomb after the respawn comes in for their team, but will not find anything. So Witness Gaming in the driver's seat now to be able to make a move on their own. Actually, Slum getting very weak, but not eventually getting cleaned up, gonna be able to live for at least for now. So Witness Gaming still trying to find an opening, and Laz, he's found the opening, the hole in the defense, but immediately thwarted by the scout on the combo. So unable to get the force there, gonna be a sack, and it's a little bit of a lake sack.
Slemnish sniper.
Yeah, Froyotech are up, but they are unable to use the pick for at least for now, because Slim went back to snipe, so he has to, you know, walk his way all the way here. But he does have a prime target. His first shot could be on this heavy that is up, and that could be
so they might not know.
Yeah, it could be a pretty big pick. They know the heavy exists. That I wouldn't be surprised if that was the first target he tries to go for.
I think Artist saw. I think Artist called it. They're holding closer. I think they know.
Oh yeah, they saw.
Yeah, they definitely saw. Look at the way they're playing. They saw the sniper and they're like, oh, we gotta change our whole strategy. But Artist is gonna fall anyway. The peek from Slemnish, you know, one of the scariest snipers in the game to play against, and he has this shutter to work with for free. So now with this demo pick, this opens things up for Froyotech massively.
Yeah, no traps. Blaze is just in, and same with the rest of the team on the combo. Ash gonna fall, so 2-player advantage, trying to bomb in and get the force on the low guy, and they will succeed. A lot of damage on the side of Froyotech, but no deaths quite yet. Dropping 3, Uber will come out from the side of Bandy and Skis, trying to get any damage they can and push them back into their own spawn. A lot of damage on the Yite will eventually fall. 3 players dead, and Yulagai falling as well.
Just
Artist. Monstrous bomb from Blaze. Just Artist left alive, and Ash is still a respawner, unable to block the point. And Froyotech really snowballing off the Demo Man pick to make it into even something bigger, making sure that this second round goes their way to tie up the game 1-1.
That round looked like it was going to Witness at the very beginning, and Froyotech managed to just snowball and claw their way back into that round that very easily could have gone the Witness's way. So heads up on Froyotech there to really, you know, managed to claw their way back from the from defeat. And on that note, we're onto another mid, and Froyotech, these mids are knock on their way. I want to see what they do to adapt.
Yep, it seems like they're playing at least slightly slower. Before it was just bomb straight off the bat, but trying to go for a spamming approach, which is what I think they normally do, honestly. And Outwitness Gaming are kind of in a weird spot where they usually go right off the bat, and it's kind of showing.
Here comes the bomb.
Very
Get
weak
Artist.
and low. Artist is gonna fall and unable to find too much for the side
Has it on
of
skis.
Witness. Yeah, he's popped into the air, pretty weak. Has to back up at least somewhat to make sure he's able to at least live for now. So Witness Gaming have a little bit of some breathing room, and they're gonna use that room to go ahead and back up. Recognize that they are down a Demo Man, extremely strong class. Cannot continue to fight with him dead and preserve their Uber for a second.
Yeah, so Froyotech do manage to win a mid here, but they don't get Lol Guy here, so this is going to be a second hold from Witness Gaming, and we've seen these second holds go disastrously for Froyotech when they try to push into Witness's second. Let's see, bomb in from Mirrorman, not going to get much, but they're going to trade for Ash again. Poor Ash is just repeatedly dying. Actually, I think Blast died on it, but here comes the bomb from Blast. He's in, and he gets huge damage in and forces the pop from Skis. Lol Guy is going to pop here, but their Uber is... Actually, Ubers are kind of going to end at the same time. Fanny's in, Artist is caught, actually. Artist is caught in a... Witness Gaming's 3 down, and they're going to have to back out a lobby here, but Froyotech's still in the chase. They want more.
Yep, they're trying to keep their footing and make sure that Witness Gaming is backed up all the way. I don't think Artist got the memo that their team was inside. He thought they were going to continue to fight. And a little bit of a miscommunication is going to definitely punish them here. Back at their own last Domain, not quite respawned yet, but there are many Froyotech players rolling out, so unable to really use that to its full potential. He's going to go ahead and respawn now. Got to get a gun built up for the incoming Froyotech Sax. And it seems like it's going to be cookie cutter, at least for now. No sniper spawning up, recognizing this, but I don't think this ad is supposed to, like... it's not really ad, realistically. It's like 10 to 15. It's not really going to come into play. At the end of the day, it's going to be ultimately even. Witness Gaming are just going to go ahead and sit on last, play it safe. Got the gun, got their door locked down, and gonna be an incoming 2-man from Froyotech, I can only imagine.
Yeah, we might see this Limiter Sniper again. It has worked pretty well so far in the match, you know. Every time he's been on Sniper, he's at least hit a shot, so nothing really more you can ask, you know. We might see that again. We might just see Froyotech go for the double. I mean, they have to sack for something to come up on Sniper, but we'll have to see. Froyotech looks like they're going for... They're oh, here they
trying
come.
to spot, I think.
Yeah, they're trying to spot. They're trying to spam the gun, it looks like, but this is a very hard point to spam the gun on. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. And Witness Gaming are doing a really good job locking at these points, and Froyotech is... It's rare to see Froyotech take this long to sack.
Well, I guess they're just trying to figure out exactly where everyone is, trying to get the baseline for how Witness Gaming is trying to do their hold. Got everyone one explosive class on each door. That's pretty normal, realistically. They're trying to bust through their own left side and right as well. Yeah, and getting one pick. It's going to make it easier to actually spam down this gun. There's going to be no counter spam onto this door. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of damage, going to kill it, but the gun will eventually die. So this is their opening to
Blaze
sack.
is sacking now. Here he comes.
And Slem as well. So it's going to be a 2-man immediately coming in, get some space, and try to get some damage. Oh, getting some damage for actually Bandy to initiate in, and Yikes just on heavy. Ransom trying to chase down as many players as possible. A lot of weak players but Mirrorman and Slim will be the first ones to fall, as well as Blaze, who committed. But that 3-man, it got them the Uber, so it's a bit of a high-risk play, and it works out in their favor, but now they only have 3 alive.
Yeah, they want to push out, and I don't blame them. And so Skis has to pop. He would have died instantly.
The Ash bomb.
No one on Witness is dying, actually. They're also healthy. This might just be a clean push-out from... They're going to try to dry this. It looks like they are... They're actually so... Skis is going to die.
Oh my lads.
There's players dying everywhere. The soldiers from Froyotech doing a little bit of a salvage, but in the end, they're not going to get that much because all the important players from Froyotech are dead. It's just 2 soldiers in Slem mission. They're also hurt.
Yeah, the Ash and Laz combo coming up big. Not only does Ash get that force, but he lives behind, so when Laz bombs forward, Ash is able to pinch and make sure that Froyotech crumbles in that second hold they try to do. Unable to escape, and now are on their own mid, with Lil Guy having a full ad as well as a pretty decent player advantage to work off of Slem and Mirrorman, nowhere to be seen, but Habib Trap even things up just a little bit. Only 1 player advantage to at least work with for now, so have to go ahead and get back and play off of your Uber ad if you're going to push into the next point.
Poor Laz, he peeked the door and literally looked up for the trap, and it was, yep, there is a trap, and then he died to it. It was, it just be like that. And here comes the Uber from Witness Gaming. They're coming in here, but Froyotech's pretty much out. They're going to get Blaze, but that's pretty much it. It's basically like Blaze got a force. Actually, they're not even going to get Blaze. Blaze barely
the fall
lives.
Damage with this rocket, just barely lives. That's insane.
They're going to get the point here, but at what cost? Because Froyotech's going to... They're going to wait for the Uber here, so they do have a little time to maybe go from behind. I haven't really seen anyone try to go behind for Witness Gaming other than that one time in lobby. So I would maybe expect them to try to do that if Froyotech tries to push here, because this is like a prime opportunity to go for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the lobby thing was more of a situational thing, but it doesn't seem like they're doing it now. Immediately, Uber coming from the side of Froyo. They're going to catch Yite, and oh no, Laz is gone, but they are going to get Yite. Actually, a lot of damage plays going forward. Make sure the little guy is trapped off, and Habib collecting that kill, as well as Artist falling. They're just dropping light flies. We talked about backwards transitions inside doorways and indoors, and it's really rough for a lot of classes and medics demos put to the test, and Artist and Logai are going to fall to that Froyotech Uber. So it's gonna be, you know, they lost Mirror Man, but it's a pretty free 2, all things considered, and they have a pretty decent Uber out of work to try to break into last. 40% is pretty sizable, so I guess the defense from Yite and Bransam gonna have to be pretty huge when it comes to off classes to hold on to their last to stay into this round.
Yeah, they are gonna have a level 3. It looks like they're moving that gear up, and they get it in the position they want just in the nick of time, really, before this push. Froyotech at 90%, they're gonna try to spot this out, maybe. Looks like they're just chilling in lobby. But it's interesting to see, Windows Gaming do not have a pyro or anything like that. Actually, they do have a pyro, excuse me. They have a pyro inside the sentry gun. Let's see if the pyro is going to die immediately, and they get the gun. Banny's just in, but they're not getting any point time here, but the kills are going so much their way, I don't think it's going to matter. Habib's in spawn. He's having a grand old time. It's just 2 players versus...
6 HP in a dream.
Yeah, the entirety of... He actually lived, too. So, Froyotech going to come up 2-1 here on Witness's map pick, but they're going to go into another mid here, and the Witness have won the mids 2-1, so we'll have to see if Witness can win another mid here if Froyotech's figured the mids out.
It seems like the adaptation that Froyotech had for the mid worked out last time, but now Witness Gaming are able to apply a plan B if they have it. We've seen them just run forward so far in a lot of the other matches they played, but they've yet to do it this one, so I'm curious to see if that is in their playbook for this map. And if it is, when will it get pulled out? Spam coming out from both sides. Art is actually locked out of the house, but will rotate to lower, so not a lot of damage in to the red team right off the bat. Yes, he's still taking some damage from some rockets though, so...
Oh, they're going to try to collapse on Ash. They're not going to quite get it. Ash is hopefully going to get put up here. He is. And Laz is going to go for the play, but the damage is so big. Can they get skis? They do get skis. So the little guy is going to be hurt here. Furo has everyone up, and they're going to be backing up here, but Froyotech know that little guy's going to be hurt, and they're going to be on the guess. And here comes Veerman. He's behind already, going for the pinch.
He's cut him off. Oh, he's slowing him down at least the bare minimum, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. He's actually going to die for his team. Was not, you know, they weren't quite close enough, a little bit too far back.
Kind of lingering around. For a lot of Froyotech players, like, lingering around, and they chase so hard, they didn't cap mid, so we might have... Froyotech are probably going to get this here, but Witness Gaming might just roll in and cap mid unless Froyotech get this force, because Skis is here, and Skis has not healed anyone yet, so this is still 100% Uber red.
Yeah, no
Here comes the bomb from Blaze. He and another soldier end up bumping midair, and Blaze is going to die immediately, so that's going to be pretty good for not having any, not having to pop the super.
As well, barely in the doorway, getting caught by Ash and Yite combo as well, so this combination...
They're going to try to roll this.
Yeah, they want to keep the train rolling. They're immediately going through the doorway, popping through, trying to get some damage onto Mirror Man, popped up into the sky, but we'll just jump around and try to live for as long as possible so his teammates are not chased down. Able to get that 1 kill, but Slim, Habib, and Skis are able to work their way back to the last. But this player had in Mirror Man, they're able to use at least a little bit to get some room, trying to bomb in.
Look at this bomb they're in. He actually lands on Slimish, doesn't get their rocket off. They're just going to sack both their soldiers here, it looks like. And a lot of players dying left and right, but in the end, no medics dying. Little guy is low, but they did get Habib. Maybe Banny wants to go off this. 2 scouts, they want to go off this, even though they have ad. Even though they don't have Uber, they just trust enough to go in off that with 2 scouts. And Witness Gaming give it up, so now Witness Gaming are going to have to hold mid with the Uber disad, though it's going to be close. Froyotech have to go fast here. The respawns are coming. I don't know if they're going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty small. It can be hard to use ads on Metalworks, honestly. Like, normally you think 30 ad on a map and you're like, oh, it's cutting it close, we can do that. But realistically for Metalworks, that's like that's not a usable ad number. It's just too long of a walk. You have to start walking way before you already get it. So when you're like, you just got here and just capped and it's at 30, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, they have to like go through lobby.
And even then, that's like you're getting read like a book. All you have to do is prepare in lobby and they're set. They don't even have to be at lower because if you go lower, they're going to automatically get. So smart play.
Sniper.
Ooh. Defensive sniper as well.
Yite dies immediately. Lance is gonna bomb in. He's
the last bomb.
He gets the
found
force
his way through the doorway. He got through the doorway to get the force. So expending 2 for the Uber, but Logai gets force as well.
Force here, and a soldier might be a little caught out in Valley. No, Ash is gonna live. So instantly both medics get forced, and Brandslam's gonna die too, and Ash is not long for. Actually, he gets a pack. He might be longer than expected. Froyotech are pushing with Slemdish Sniper. Oh, he does get body shot. Looks like a off of Slemdish Sniper here, and just both medics getting forced. Froyotech take mid just off of the fact that Witness Gaming was the one that sacked.
It's really not often that you see defensive sniper, and then that defensive sniper works so well. I think it's partly because he hit his first surprise shot. That's where it's the strongest, but you don't know it exists because it's basically a free kill to get your shot.
Yeah, they know that they have the sniper at it. They're gonna have to, you know, make space for Slemdish, and Slemdish is looking lower. He's trying to shoot people's ankles and lower, and I kind of dig it. There's like a crack angle he can kind of shoot. When his gaming aren't biting,
they're pushing house.
They're going in the house, and I really like this call. Actually, they back up. Okay, so they tried to go for it, maybe bait Froyotech in. Slemdish is in Valley now, so they have to worry about a different sightline entirely. Witness Gaming know that it's only a matter of time before Slemdish hits a shot, so they have to do something proactive here.
Yep, eventually he's going to be able to hit something, and you don't want to let him get as many shots off as he possibly can, so... I guess the question isn't if, but when will they pull the trigger and try to full send it. Eventually, there's going to be some sort of bomb that happens from the side of Witness to, you know, eliminate Slemdish as a threat, because you can't just let him peek this deep.
Yeah, you can't. Here comes Blaze in, going for a sack, trying to draw people in. Slemdish is wide peeking here. He does eat some damage. They're going to back up.
Oh, they want to Uber exchange.
Yeah,
immediately going in.
I like this. Oh, so many people dying.
Slem and Habib getting dropped in the Uber. Too many players to flash. They had their entire human lobby pretty much spare, maybe the soldiers. So I think they jumped away at the last second. So even then, dropping two players. Blaze
both soldiers trying to get the spam here. Brandslam gets earshot, but in the end, it's not worth it. You know, Skis does live. And actually, they're going to get last. Bandy's kind of lingering here in lobby, Bandy actually going behind is a rarity.
Artist went for it alone and was able to get Skis inside the doors. He just poked around.
Bandy's going for a backhand, though. It's a very hurt Bandy versus Ash on Soldier. Ash, you know, cautious because it's a scout class. Witness actually sent so many players back they fear Bandy behind so hard. Bandy is drawing so many people back.
That's so much time by. It lets Skis spawn. It lets him actually
be at mid. Is he going to live? He gets...
Oh my god.
Bandy
All right, that was a huge play.
The Invisible Man. That was... the most impactful behind while not killing him in play I've ever seen. He lived. He has 14 health. Skis misses the poke. Someone eats it.
Okay. And now they have an honest attempt at getting a force here. Before it would just be Skis isn't there, free drive push, free point for the side of Witness. But that play in itself means they actually have a fighting chance. RGLgg might have to actually use Uber to be able to get their way in here. Unless they're able to get like a sick drive fight, but it might be a little bit rough. They're trying to work their way forward. There are some stickies on the floor. Will eventually get dead, so they have some room to move forward. Initiation coming from the soldiers, actually locking down really hard. Brandslam will fall. A lot of damage. Forced. Yep, Blaze and Slem both fall there, elite.
But they get Blaze and Bandy and Slemdish, so they do get 3 kills to make up for this. Skis only has 50%. They might get caught out here if they're not too careful. And Artist knows he's going to trap off Habib, but Habib's going to bear... Is he going to... Oh, no, he died!
The RGLgg arrow!
They're going to chase. They know the important frag is Skis. Actually, they're not going to chase it. Excuse me. They thought about it, and now they're backing up. They're holding mid. Skis does have Uber to work with here, but Witness Gaming do have mid.
Mirror Man.
Oh, RGLgg so hurt.
Last rocket hits the wall. RGLgg is still alive. At least now he's out of it. That last rocket. Oh my god. All right, RGLgg lives at least for now, but this ad from Skis is coming forward, and we have a pause.
Look at where Mirror Man is in this pause. That is, wait, look at this is such a weird position. I feel like Skis might get. If they pop as Uber, Witness might be done. And although they have a scout to get RGLgg out, but I think Branson might be dead. Last might be dead. What do you think?
I think this looks kind of rough for RGLgg. I feel like they weren't holding S when this pause happened. They were like kind of poking. I think in Witness Gaming's mind right now, they're like, "Oh, this guy's feeding. Let's kill him before Freyo gets here." But they don't realize how close they actually are. Like they probably think that they're still like leaving their house. Yeah, it's not a big deal. They also, I think the big thing,
lost the cap.
Realistically, I think the main thing in their mind that they're afraid of are Demo Man Ubers with ad, because I feel like most of the time you see like Froyotech Uber with ad Habib's in it, and he's rolling out right now. He's not there. They know that even if they did Uber, that he can't be there, so it's literally just going to be a soldier, if anything, and the soldier is literally right here where Insane was fighting him. So he's like, "Yo, kill this guy." Because if they can kill him, even if they do Uber, it's just scouts chasing scouts. So that they probably feel comfortable there. But if this takes too long, if they overstay their welcome, which I feel like it's probable that they could get completely caught right here.
Yeah, it's possible they get caught, but they do have the scout speed. So I think the most likely scenario is that if Froyotech decides to Uber, then we're gonna have Brand Slam and Laz probably dying, and Yite and Lolgai probably gonna run away. That'd be my guess, is that Lolgai lives, but they get a couple kills and maybe roll into second, because Witness Gaming never kept mid. And also, we do know why there was a pause. It is because Artist is lagging, apparently. I don't know if he lagged out of the server, or just is lagging in general because his ping is high. We'll have to see, but that is the reason why we were paused. We don't know exactly when they're gonna unpause, but hopefully it should be pretty soon.
Guess fingers crossed. You never really know when it comes to lag. Sometimes it just takes like a little bit like, oh, let me turn off some stuff, you know, or other times it's like a full, let me reset stuff, or, you know, you never really know. But I guess, yeah, fingers crossed that it's on the lower end. I think most of the pauses this season have been under 5 minutes, realistically. Yeah. They've been like pretty short, which I'm happy for, but knock on wood, honestly.
Yeah,
I
said the same thing our last match, and we had a decent pause, not terrible, but we had an okay pause. Our first round of playoffs, so yeah. Probably jinxed it again. We'll have to see. Looking around, couple dead players. Habib is rolling out.
It's a 4v4.
Habib is like in the air and his sticky's on the floor. He's like very high up.
Well, it's not a 4v4, but Habib's not there, so it's 4v4.
Yeah. I'm just looking like the way you rolled out, it's like he sticky jumped, but his sticky's still on the ground. Like he's so high up.
And remember that this pause is not right now. It's in 90 seconds of the future.
True.
So Brand Slam isn't like paused right now in this spot saying exactly where Skis is. This is like when it's gonna be live when it unpauses. Then the pause will be later. You'll see it stutter a little bit for the pause and unpause. So there's not gonna be any strategic stuff like that. I think they're just really banking on like if they can kill Mir, then they feel comfortable like just running away from a scout Uber. Because they'd have a scouts of their own. They'll just run away. Forehead.
Yeah.
Just get the pack. But Mirror Man's full HP. He literally has a wall to hide behind, realistically. Yeah. So there's no I feel like Mirror Man doesn't get this kill unless he's hyper greedy, or like Laz hits like the sickest directs of his life or something. Yeah. I feel like this is not extremely favorable for Witness, even though they can technically find something. It's like there's merit, but
we are worried about the Super, but Skis does 80% and he's looking the wrong way, so we'll have to see if Skis even wants to use the Super. Now, Froyotech does have mid because Witness never capped. So Froyotech, it's kind of, the ball's in their court to do something, so that's why we're expecting an Uber, but who knows, Skis he's hurt, so if he's going to pop, I assume he's going to pop pretty early. He doesn't want to, there's no way he'd drop this.
Yeah, not really. I mean, dropping here would just be like a disrespect. Because there's only, like, if a scout's going to burst you down, you know it because he's close.
Yeah.
And there's no, Artist is dead, there's no traps. There's only one projectile cost alive on Witness, it's Laz. There's no synchronized spam. It would have to be, like, getting really ballsy and thinking that, like, a Laz and Brainstorm combo would, like, not do enough damage to kill you or something. But realistically, they're not going to, I don't think they're shooting Skis. Like, they're probably trying to kill Mirror Man right now.
There's no demos to, like, accidentally hit him.
Unless Laz is just doing this to, like, the whole reason Laz is peeking is because he's about to high bomb right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he might bomb on the roof and shoot down. Who knows?
He might just be like, they're gonna shoot Brain Slam because he's literally out in the open in no man's land. So because they're gonna shoot him, I have a free bomb.
Yeah,
that could be his mindset. But
yeah, we'll have to see. How soon are Artist and Ash? It looks like they're about to spawn, but I don't know when they died. Did they die recently? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. So they're probably about to respawn. So Witness Gaming will have some respawns for a second, but they're probably, I'm surprised they're so aggressive in the first place. I guess they're just backing up. I don't know.
Actually, I think Ash was recent, but Artist wasn't.
Okay.
So Artist will be there eventually, but it's still a long rollout for a demo man. It's a lot of indoors. There's like one pack to take realistically, so it's gonna be a bit.
All right, I am reaching the point where I'm about to look at people's hats and judge them. I'm approaching that point of the pause.
I'm reaching the point where we say, do we do a 2-minute intermission and put on some music and just cat jam?
Perhaps. I think
because who knows? This could be like a hold on, give me 10 minutes, let me call my ISP type deal. You never know. I mean, we could like ask them and stuff, but even then, like if it's internet issues, trying to talk to the person with the internet issues usually isn't a thing.
Yeah,
their internet is like going in and out.
That's
like
a good point.
They're like, it's like, yo, let me get some updates, but they're literally unplugging it so you can't. All right. The good news is he's back in the mumble, which is good. That's a good sign. It means whatever he's done to reset things, he's back in the game to try to, or not in the game, but he's back in some capacity to try to, see what's up. but fingers continue to be crossed because I don't know about you. I've personally had moments where I reset my net and it
It
doesn't
looks
actually
fine.
do anything.
I've had moments where I reset my net, it looks fine, and then the second I start playing, it immediately like starts doing stupid things again. I have seen that happen, and I have judged all the loadouts of people who are alive, and I have determined that Yite has the best loadout because it's the funniest, and Skis has the best profile picture because it's just the goalie wash big door.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been his
It
profile
is.
pic. It's just the goalie wash big door, and Slendish has like a traditional Skis picture, so definitely a little bit of shenanigans happening on Froyotech with their profile pictures.
The mid-match drip check.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there is a good mid-match drip check. Actually, you know, I remember back in the day, Froyotech Eric and Banny used to do this, where they'd wear the same loadout, so you couldn't tell who was who, and I noticed Slemish and Banny have not done that, so maybe they just forgot to do it, or they were, I don't know, sweating. That was in Grand Finals. Maybe they haven't busted out that technology yet.
It's hidden tech that you preserve.
Oh, here we go.
We have a game. Oh, they
Let's
did
go.
back up. Okay, I think they.
Nothing happened.
I think I did realize that C's a little too close, but
Laz
Laz
is
is
behind.
going behind. Like I said, he would. He found the opening. He's all the way in the other team's house.
Habib might be caught.
Almost. Yite just barely. Oh, not. What? Okay, what's happening? Yeah, Laz able to collect the frag onto Slem, some nice directs. Habib's still living through all this, and Froyotech getting some positioning on the enemy team's bridge. They have it add to work, but still trying to run. Oh, never mind. The HUD's broken. The Uber will come out from both teams, trying to get as much damage as possible, trying to chase Mirror Man in lower. Will eventually get flashed, but the chase is on for the side of actually Ash is just going all the way
Skis
behind.
might be caught. Skis is hurt. Ash is in position too, and he gets Skis. So massive
perfect
Uber
play.
right here for Lol guy here if they can keep him alive. But our HUDs are going to be broken for a while, and Habib is also swimming on the ground.
It's time to watch this match while holding tab the entire time. You got a two-player advantage, or one-player advantage for the side of Froyotech, but they're missing Skis, so no heals. Any damage is permanent unless you're just hemorrhaging the packs, and it seems like they have run out. Mirrorman has to completely leave the mid, and same with Habib for the most part, so they already get able to get some good positioning on the side of Witness, despite being down 2, but they recognize that Skis here, and never mind, Skis is not here, Laz. Immediately going for the solo play, making sure that as soon as Skis arrives, he's gone. And he does live, Banny falling behind, unable to get the flank play. And right now, it seems like everything's just working out in Witness's favor.
Yeah, the pause didn't happen in real time, but the pause probably, I understand why they paused now, because everything's going up Witness. Oh, they paused.
Here.
They paused at a perfect time when nothing was happening.
Artist like full lag, like he's out the server lag, so he's not on the combo right now for this.
They were just capping. So that's a perfect time, because like he's not going to be here for the push, which is unfortunate, but they're not expecting to do anything anyway. So that was like,
true.
If anyone was going to lag out, that was the perfect game time to do it, because it's not going to matter at all. Yeah, Artist is already, he's here, he's ready to go. Ready to game. His ping's still 80, but that's okay.
And they got full Uber for the side of Skis. He's at 50, so size will 50% add for them to work with here. And trying to work their way, trying to figure out what door they want to go through. Brainstorm peeking just a little bit, going to eat some sand, but he gets an idea of what's what. The gun is actually in a really passive position, and they're actually going to go to the door that Slem is not, so the Pyro's not going to be able to do too much. Immediately popping in. Art is actually getting juggled, so not able to get too deep there. Trying to get some damage onto the Pyro, able to get over to Habib, but this Uber is not really accomplishing too much. The gun still alive up until the very end, trying to get on the point. Brainstorm actually gets a lot of cap time. Able to get the Pyro out in the open. Slem's still on Pyro.
They forced the Uber, but Lol Guy's so in. They're committing to this. Lol Guy's going to be caught. They're actually all in spawn hiding.
Oh, they're really going all in.
Oh, okay. More like.
Yeah,
I see on the post though. He does. Blaze is gonna drop super low. Red Slam's in. The point type's so close. Are they gonna be able to get Skis? It's just 2 scouts versus Skis. Oh, Habib! Habib clutched up
at the last second, and that's a Ubersoft from Skis. Noticeable. Skis is normally a solemn value user, but he switches to Ubersoft for last. Yeah, he switches to Ubersoft for last holds, I'm pretty sure. At least that's for a while. Let me double check. Yep, he switched back to Solemn Val. He uses Ubersoft for last holds.
Technology.
Exactly for moments like that, where you just go and get a saw. Now the ad is much bigger than it would have been. Lol Guy died, and Skis is able to climb his Uber to a much more comfortable spot to be able to use it.
When this is playing up, even though they have big Uber disad, they know that if they can threaten like there's a back cap, it's might throw a wrench in Froyotech's works, you know? Back caps are really obnoxious to deal with, and especially I feel like on this map, it's one of those maps where there's a lot of like little hiding spots that you can kind of just forget. So I think that's the play. Artist is kind of a little mobby actually, if he's not careful. Witness
Did they forget about I think they forgot about the Ubersoft.
Right.
They're immediately going in. A lot of damage on Habib, but the gun will eventually die. Yite falling to a Habib trap. Eli's getting cleaned up as well, and this is abysmal for the side of Witness. They're really going all in with this heavy though. That's out of time.
Oh, that's why they pushed. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that wasn't just the Uber.
That
Forgetting about the
makes
Uber sauce.
sense.
That was
Okay.
just the time. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
confused.
I forgot to look. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure the stream knew the entire time because it's literally on the
I
screen. But
looked and I
I
thought my
have
HUD
to
was broken.
I have to hold tab to see it, and I just wasn't doing it right then. So
Yeah,
whoops.
yeah.
But
So
2-1 didn't
at
go
two to
the
one, which
full
is
time.
not ideal, but it's kind of rare to see Froyotech stalemate out a half like that. Like it wasn't a stalemate in any sense of the word in terms of game flow, but in terms of the round scores, it wasn't. You didn't get to three, and usually if Froyotech's playing, you get to three by the halftime. So interesting to see. There's only a 1 round difference, which is pretty good. Especially considering you are in playoffs against Froyotech. So Froyotech, they're going to be looking to adjust in this halftime. Kind of equalize this game, not equalize, but put this game in the bag. And Witness Gaming, I think they've been doing a lot of things right. They just need a handful of things to work their way, and they can come out on top.
Yeah, although it is always a sad spot to, be down on your map pick, though, Witness Gaming down 1-2. So even though they got some good things in the bag, unable to get quite enough to lead this map pick to the success that they so desired. Got some stats on the screen here. Space Ghost, why don't you take it over and talk to the stream a little bit about what you're looking at the stats while I BRB for like 30 seconds?
No problem. And looking at these stats, the big difference I can see is that Habib has a lot of kills and a lot of damage. And Artist, he's not doing terrible, but somehow Habib's getting all the kills. I can think of he got 2 or 3 on that one last fight. So Habib's out there doing good work. Mirman also having a pretty good game. He's dying a lot, but so is Blaze. Soldiers are just dying in general. And yeah, it really looks like Habib's the standout player. Both medic tests are equal. And a couple kills here and there. Not too much. I think the standout player for me is probably Habib. I'd say just in general, Blaze also had a pretty big impact at a couple times, although a lot of the soldiers, actually, Laz is also an MVP. Now that I think about it, Laz did have a lot of forces, and just a lot of big plays.
He's keeping the train rolling, really.
Yeah, so did Blaze, honestly, too. Both roamers are having very good games. Like, there was that one time where literally Laz forces Skis and then Blaze immediately forces Lolguy. You know what I mean? It's just big plays from the roamers overall. Like we said, it's Soldier Map.
And a lot of these forces are normally positions where you would expect them to die, and they snake away. They're able to survive. I feel like there's multiple times in this match where we saw forces happen from the soldiers, and they are in the thick of it, and they should die realistically, but they somehow find the way out and able to survive, get arrowed up, eat a pack, whatever, to continue to fight after the Uber's over.
Yeah, it's it's really impressive, honestly. And the map point is close. What kind of adjustments do you think Froyotech are going to be? I noticed that this game really haven't sent as many players behind as I expected, but Froyotech definitely has been trying it a couple times.
I agree. I kind of feel like right now that they're getting caught in their backward transitions. I feel like a lot of the time, the moments that we're seeing Witness Gaming shine in being able to take a couple points in a row is from they get the one pick and then they recognize that hole in the defense and immediately work towards it. It's usually like Ash and Laz. I guess maybe what time or two it's been Yite, but it's mostly Ash or Laz because they can just literally fly through the map because the skybox is huge and they can find a way to put themselves. They'll go behind, but it's not like a long drawn out play. It's literally they're looping behind to their exit, slowing them down and cutting them off to or at least get some sort of kill. And I honestly feel like Froyotech is doing that too, but it's been less impactful. It's like they'll do that and they'll get like a soldier or a demo kill for a point they've literally already won. When Witness does it, they're catching like skis, which will change the tide of the pace of the game because the Ubers and all that. Definitely want to make sure your medic is alive long term to keep the snowball up and keep taking point after point after point and use Uber for last to take the round for yourselves. So definitely some adjustments to be made there, I think, in that regard.
Yeah. I think Froyotech also, I think their last holds have been pretty strong. I think that Witness Gaming have done a really, not a poor job, but Froyotech's been very standout on their last holds. There's a couple full Uber ad pushes where they're able to really come in and, really take their last fight into second as well, because they won the last fight so hard. So I think Witness definitely might want to change what they're doing on their last fights, or maybe just have the execution go better. Not really sure which.
And then, as always, if you're able to win the mid just strong enough, who cares about the transitions? They're not played. Just win the mid.
Yeah, true.
Just win
Forehead.
the mid forehead. Just win the mid. Yeah, if you win the mid, just do the last push, and then the round's yours. So like, that's gonna be a big thing as well, because they've gone a little bit back and forth. Started out Witness favored, started to lean more towards Froyo, but now we'll see where the halftime brings us. Both demos arriving at mid. Artist taking the first sticky. Actually, a lot of damage is going to the side of Witness, preventing them from really walking out the door without taking some damage themselves. Bomb immediately coming from Ash, trying to create
and he's
space,
still gonna die for it.
Immediately melting. So one down, and so many
Witness
crashes
are
led to Witness. Guy falling as well, and they're just out. That whatever play they had, it was not executed well enough for them to continue fighting this, and it seems like the chase is going to continue slightly. I think Artist dropped to like
He
1
elected
HP or
to go
something,
lower,
but
and Habib was already spamming in. Froyotech knows they're in. Blaze is behind the lobby, going for the pinch, and they're gonna have to deal with this. Although Blaze actually comes back and trying to preserve his life. Win is still want to fight this, and I can't blame him for it. But Brand Slam's so hurt, they have to make sure no one gets caught out. When they're caught in a corner here, they get the force here, and Skis is actually so far out on. Oh, Skis gets forced too.
yep. But the chase is on 30% Uber ad in terms of the ticking down, but that's not quite enough to go too deep. But it is enough to make sure this point is secured for yourself, despite the Blaze death that happened a bit earlier on. But they are going to try to poke around off the Blaze death. They're looking, but I think they've recognized it. Still locked down by Habib. A little bit too risky for them to go all in on a dry fight when the Demos man's already set up. So back to last they go. Engineer up, get ready to hold against the Froyotech onslaught, trying to break their way into the enemy team's last and take another point for themselves.
Yeah, Witness tried to fight that second point and ended up kind of just, you know, they didn't lose, but they didn't accomplish anything either. So it kind of ended up just equalizing the whole situation. So all they did is really buy themselves time to not get sacked on, I guess, because now everyone has to build Uber. We do have Yite on Engineer, and the Sentry Gun is in a pretty standard position, I'd say. And now we do have Brand Slam Sniper now that Ubers are out. So, you know, no scouts on the side for Witness Gaming, but they do have a Sentry that doesn't miss. And there's the first Sniper pick. Mirror Man going to fall, and that's going to signal kind of a retreat from Froyotech. And let's see if Witness go for a sax or they try to make room for their sniper.
Oh, Laz tried to go for something, dropped immediately very low, but will eventually get his way back to last and live. So, because he tried to find an opening, was unable to find anything. Branson doesn't look like he wants to peek too deep. He's got a little bit of an angle, but it's literally in the shutter, not very deep at all. So will not find anything. Actually shoved out by Blaze bombing and retaking lobby for his team as they have gone ahead and respawned.
Wall guy gets sacked, he's gonna take the teleporter to spawn. This is technology. I'm telling you. I'm telling you that's what's gonna happen.
Hidden playoffs technology. This is level TF2.
I see the future. I know this is good. That has to be it. Otherwise, why would you build a telly there?
True.
Here's a dispenser. Let's go.
I'll just peace out.
Highlander strats are coming into play. And speaking of which, we do have Froyotech. It is on them to sack here. But they're not. They're just trying to spam it. I think they're trying to figure out where the gun is, trying to do stuff. And it looks like here comes, and Slumdish is going to die immediately. That's going to probably signal the end of the sack. So Slumdish tried to get through the door, chose the unfortunate door, and ended up falling. And now it's on Witness to try to make a little space here, make some space for the sniper. Ash is going to fall low. But Witness, they're actually, Branson's taking an aggressive angle, and he's going to get Habib. So that's a massive pick here for Witness keeping to push out.
Bit of an opening for them to use, and actually they're going in, able to click the Ash kill, but that might be all they really get. They're trying to chase as many players as they possibly can. Little guy too far away, and the gun is too healthy to kill, so pretty successful spot for them to be and make sure they got the Demoman kill. Actually, they got Branson as well, so the sniper biting up a little bit more than you, peeking that lobby a little bit aggressively,
on sniper
that kill.
For the defense here too.
Oh, defensive Slumdish sniper, that could be very dangerous. He's kind of watching the cross a little bit. You know, if they peek lobby a little bit too aggressively, it could spell disastrous. They could get a chasing class. He has taken a shot. His presence is probably known at least somewhat, but this is still a sizable ad. Yeah, it's 40 ad. They're getting ready to go. Looks like it might be Shutter.
Habib does have stickies over that Shutter. They're going to have to pop through. It looks like they do know Habib does that as stickies, and they're not going to get anything with this Uber. So Froyotech's going to have a pretty big Uber ad to immediately refight this, but they are going to get the point, and they are repushing with the sniper. So if Witness Gaming can get the sniper off the field early, it'll be pretty good for them, but if not, it will spell disaster. We'll have to see. And Froyotech looks like they're going to elect to push Valley here. Yeah, they're going to push Valley, play around their sniper. It makes sense. It seems like the most logical choice.
Yeah, otherwise your sniper's pretty much food, but
Slem's
alone.
Yeah.
They're actually going with him. They're not going with him all last. He's going to go ahead and bomb onto some head rock. He can't serve that. Blaze initiating with the rest of his team, trying to bomb forward and get any kills they can. Artist drops very low, but unable to find the... Oh, actually, never mind. He is going to miss the door and is going to eventually die. And Ash falling as well. Yite is behind, trying to go for behind play. Will not be successful in that endeavor. So, yeah, they get Slam at the very least. They got the sniper that was lone, but it seems like it was just bait.
going to try to get this force out on last, and they know And they know it's just 3 people up at last. They do get the spawns though, so this might end up not working in their favor. Yeah, Guy forces immediately. He knows it's not going to end well. I'm actually a little surprised he popped, but, you know.
I think he just tried to take initiative with it to catch them off guard, because normally you could, like, see, like, it's a 3v6, right? So, like, maybe Habib and Skis would be, like, greedy about it, right?
I thought they would be closer,
would peek, so they just said, screw it. Let's just bank on them peeking to help their teammates force us, so let's run into them. But they were incorrect. No one was peeking. It was a solo bomb pretty much from Blaze.
I think that's what he was thinking. Yeah, I just don't think they were on the same page to be close enough. But it is a good theory. I do like it. But unfortunately, Froyotech do have full Uber to work with. But it is rapidly dwindling. It's only 30% now, and they are pushing into a sentry. We'll have to see if they can get the point.
Collide mid-air as well.
Ash is getting hard chased here. Ash is in the sad zone. He's actually going to have Predator, and they lose both soldiers here. Guy only has 90%. He has to get this Uber before Froyotech gets point time. Somebody's just going to be hurt here, but Blaze is playing the point, and they get Sluggish too. They get 2 kills here, and they're going to push out. Froyotech does have 30% Uber to work with here, but I think Witness Gaming want to push out.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough to work with, but it is technically possible. Ransam getting weak. They have the rest of the players rolling out to try to find a way in.
It's flanking. It's flanking.
He's found his way. He's unseen. He's trying to get the shots off onto Skis, getting him dropped very low. 38. He will eventually clean up that kill, but will get cleaned up by the people rolling out. Habib dropping very low as well.
They're down 3. They're going to have to back up the last year, but they do have a massive red to work with. But Froyotech's all alive, but they're all in the red, and there's no one to heal them.
Slim immediately falling. You have people bombing through. Merryman will eventually. Oh, actually, no, he escaped. That's right. There's no scouts on the field for the side of Witness, so able to jump in and get some damage, but will eventually jump out. But at the end of the day, yeah, they full sent it 3 deaths to make sure that Skis is killed, and it's enough to get them this sizable ad. It's huge. It's a 75%.
There's a soldier behind instantly that they're gonna have to deal with. But Artist is gonna die trying to get through the door. And Guy's so hurt. Guy has 60 health, and he pops to get through the door, but Froyotech's out.
Benny's one. Oh, maybe not. Yikes on the chase.
They know. But he's gonna drag so many people back.
Oh, they get Guy. The perfect play. Just enough distraction. 3v3 leaves now, and they're going
for Skis now. They do. Okay, they know. They back up the lobby. Witness Gaming might get second off this. No, they're not. They're gonna back up here. So Ski's gonna have a massive red to work with. It's gonna be a repeat of their previous last push, but this time they don't have Uber to work with at the end of the fight because they have such a massive Uber to set.
That was a really nice play from Banny, netting them the position they're in right now. So yeah, 60% plus ad to work with. Gun just going up, still level 1 near the spawn. Yite is on Sniper trying to peek down toward the shutter. If they go main, it might be a little bit of a sticky situation for the side of Skis and friends, but well, it looks like they are.
Sniper,
Are they going that door? It looks like no, they're not going that door. They're going far left.
Everyone's gone that door every time, I think, other than maybe once.
Going far left, trying to clear the stickies off the point right after that.
He's on the point that Banny
getting so much damage on the Banny. Popped up into the air, dropping a lot of players on the side of Froyo. Just Mir and Slem left alive, and that's a wipe. Yep. A lot of expended classes, though.
Yeah, Froyotech went for a different strategy there. They tried to kind of get the point, you know? They wanted early point time, because previously they'd just been kind of, you know, trying to get kills and then play the point, but they went for the different strategy this time, and it's not working in their favor. A full wipe and full Uber ad for Guy pushing into mid here. We're gonna have to see what Froyotech do.
Yeah. It's honestly a pretty viable strat because of the way the Metalworks last is in particular. The y-axis
you can jump up
is much
you're
smaller.
Not on the point anymore.
Yeah, if you double jump a scout on that, you're not blocking anymore. But Laz pre-fire jumped onto Banny so flawlessly to make sure he dropped extremely low and fell immediately. So that was dead in the water right off the bat from just Laz's counterplay. But Uberad coming in, they haven't used quite yet, but they're trying to break through the door, get in some space. No slow bombs over the blue team, but they will eventually use the Uber trying to get some damage onto Blaze. He will not take the pack, Crater, and die.
No, he's good. They want
Chase is on.
Aggressive with this Uber. Okay, they do get out. Skis has a big Uber to work with, but again, this is a situation where Witness Gaming might want to go behind. Froyotech are down Blaze, so they're gonna be pushing without a roamer, so they're gonna have to deal with that if they go behind. But Froyotech, the ball's in their court. They do know. Okay, they know they have time to work with. Then they're gonna. Looks like they're slow playing lobby actually.
Yep, trying to. I think they're waiting for Blaze at least somewhat to be alive. If someone does go behind, he's able to be something. But yeah, it's going forward. On to at least the soldiers. Ash popping up the air will eventually fall to fall damage. Last escaping with his life. So far these Uber pushes into mid. The last 2 have just been 1 for 1. You know, the Uber take the point, but you only really get 1 kill out of it. So a little bit of a leapfrog scenario we have going in, and they're gonna have to break the curse of both these teams if they want to hold on to mid for more than about 60 seconds. Guy 10% away until he has an Uber of his own. They're gonna go ahead and let Ash spawn so he can deal with anyone that might go behind. And they're on the move, working their way towards underpass, trying to get themselves into mid the best they can.
Yep, it's gonna be another classic leapfrog situation. It's just gonna be on who can actually you know, get the one play that goes their way so the leapfrog stops. And it looks like actually Froyotech are close to their Uber. I think they realize that Witness are going to bomb in. Habib's caught out. He's actually going to live, excuse me, and Laz is going to die here. There's no kills going the way of Witness other than Blaze dying.
He dies!
Oh, the kills are finally at the very end coming. Witness games. Actually, it's 2v3 and little guy's super hurt. Artist is behind too. It's Artist versus Ski? No, Skis is okay. Wait.
That was such a deep post Uber. Yeah, he was stuck inside the enemy team lobby. They ended that post Uber inside the other team's house. They got some kills, they wanted more, and they got hyper punished for it. Froyotech making sure they recognized when Witness Gaming, even though, you know, Froyotech was in a bad spot right off the bat, they saw that Witness Gaming was biting off more than they could chew and immediately punished them for it, and it's net them the position they're in now. They have a decent 70% at it. It is dwindling if they take too long, but they have all their players alive. Mirrorman is on his way, and they have a decent spot to be able to try to take the enemy teams too. Witness Gaming set up, but gonna have to get ready for the Froyotech push.
Yeah, it looks like they're going the, you know, staple push of going. Actually, they're going lower. Excuse me. It looked like they're gonna go Valley, and Skis does get forced on the way in. Looks like Laz is behind, gonna die for it. But one death, you take that. Getting in a second, we're in another leapfrog situation. Teams, they just, each team gets forced or has to pop going in, but they can't get enough to secure it. They just, you know, just leapfrogging. But at least I guess Froyotech did manage to get from mid to second, so that's an improvement for them.
Yeah, but Witness Gaming pushing out Alas is the track record isn't, it's not too much in their favor because it seems like Froyo has been able to get behind at least a little bit. They are on the move though. They're working their way through their own lower left area, trying to damage Habib. Branson immediately dropped, and there's actually people flooding behind them, trying to get some damage on Ash. Will clean up that kill. The rest of Froyo is on the chase, trying to get as much damage as possible. Will be able to clean up Laz on the side of Blaze there, and Habib actually dropping very low 4 HP. With Brandy and Skis are on an adventure on their own. They're just trying to go for an adventure to go for last, and right now, just Artist and Logite left alive, but it doesn't matter. Wait, he got the respawner! Oh, he's able to get that one frag. He's able to get the two! He's very low, but the respawner soldiers are coming in, so he will probably eventually get cleaned up. That was a nail-biter.
Yeah, that was so nail-biting. And look at this Froyotech. They know they can be a little aggressive in lobby. Actually, okay, they're gonna back up here, but... Oh, that was... Bandy even types, run away from me in chat, and he says every time. So Bandy knowing he's making massive plays here to keep his team in this, and Witness do have an Uber head, but it's not as big as you'd expect because all the chaos that was happening. Froyotech looked like they want to dry off of the point. Just off of the point cap time.
Yeah, they're going in. They have to stand on it, which means doors are not watched. Branson immediately following Mirrorman, expending his life for it. Last trying to counter off the point, land on it. Both soldiers expended. He's on the side of Froyotech. Habib is at 1 HP, will eventually fall. The drive fight will not end up in their favor, despite people standing on the point to make sure that it goes down a little bit faster in these open doors. That doesn't seem like
trying to go behind. He's in a corner. Slunish is in a corner and lower. He's going to try to go. They must know Slunish is. Oh, he's
helping his team.
He's helping. That's a heads-up play.
Yep, definitely a favorable position, able to clean up Yite instead, making sure that this push slightly slower. Actually, this ad is completely gone now because that kill, they weren't able to use it to make sure that they were to take two. So now they have a pick of their own. It's not a spamming class, so there's, you know, still all the spam they have to deal with, but there's no gun because Yite is dead. Yite is usually the engineer. No one's taking up the mantle. Bomb coming in from the side of the red soldiers, landing on wall guys. The surf
they get the
not
force.
Enough. There's a roof on your head. You can't surf if there's a roof above you. So Logite going to force there, expending 2 the side of Froyo to make sure that happens. And Witness Gaming, they're not on the move. They recognize that they are stuck on their last, at least for a little bit longer, and have to face the Froyotech Uber that will eventually come their way. Gun going up from the side of Yite, Brand Slam, taking the mantle on Sniper, actually taking an aggressive position this time to see if he can catch anyone out. Last time he caught Habib, but maybe he'll do the same.
Actually, maybe not. I've seen the dot now. They body shot. Yeah. Vanny gonna eat a body shot. Oh, hey, there's a sniper there. Which is good because it might buy him a little time. It's something that Froyotech has to at least acknowledge.
Ooh, he's Pyro too now. He swapped off.
Yeah, heads up play there. You know, now he's on Pyro. These Pyros have been dying instantly in the top right. I don't know why, they just kind of have. We'll have to see if he lives longer, but Froyotech actually, yep, they're gonna go Uber into the Pyro.
Yep, merely going in to gun. Yep, Pyro lived at least for now, so we can go ahead and reset and go back on Scout. Yep, bomb from last to counter initiate. Blaze up in the air trying to collect Artist, but he's still alive until the very last second. Will eventually fall. There's so many Witness game.
They get Uber, they get Uber.
The Uber.
Can they kill anyone? They can't leave the point though. This might be disastrous. Their spawns are so
Mirrorman
bad.
Got arrowed. Yeah.
Whenever we set the y-axis, you double jump off the point and they can cap it. That's exactly what just happened. They knocked him off the point and Froyotech takes the round. So Froyotech up 3-1 with only 15 minutes left in this half. And if Froyotech wins this half, they win the playoff series and move on to the grand finals. So Witness Gaming, you're gonna have to try to win a mid, mix some miracles to equalize this 2-round disadvantage.
Yep, really high stakes here trying to win this map for the side of Witness to keep yourselves alive. Froyotech just trying to secure themselves the spot they so desperately desire. Got some spam going across both sides. Habib and Blaze eating the same damage, a little bit, again, some work cut out for Skis to kill them up.
Look at
yeah,
the
they
positioning.
know. The damage is so great for the side of Witness onto Froyo, but they're taking some damage themselves, honestly. They're trying to put themselves
Blaze
back up on
bombing.
top of the point, but the bombs from the soldiers are creating a little space for the side of Froyo. Artist is not on the beam. He's dropping solo, but Banny will be unable to collect that kill.
Might get Skis in post.
The Flash is coming, Laz bombing in, popping Skis up in the air, will miss the last rocket, yet on the chase, able to collect Mirror and make sure that Skis is collected as well. That was almost very sketchy, but at the end of the day, Froyotech's initiation was not able to clean up more than just Laz bombing in to help clean up those last couple players. So full wipe on the side of Froyo and Witness Gaming are in a pretty decent spot.
They're already peeking last. I like this. They're peeking last. They're getting the Banny's gun is immediately dead. Sad engineer gameplay. Banny's on sniper now to try to get revenge. Not gonna be able to see anyone. They backed up. So looks like Witness Gaming have to get this last push. I think if they want to get in this match, I think they need this last push to at least not be a disaster. Because their last pushes, you know, haven't been super ideal. They got one, but this is their time to shine.
Yep. They got 50 ads, so it's definitely usable. Trying to pick a door right now. Looks like it's left side again, trying to go up against the Pyro, trying to melt Slem if possible, but
Artist dies immediately.
Instead, immediately dies to Beam. Slem will reflect a rocket into Ash to make sure this gun can live. He's popped up in the air. No, this is a wash.
Remember I said it couldn't have been a disaster. That was a disaster. Artist died immediately. Yeah, people die. Yeah, everyone seems. I think people are getting too cheeky with trying to push that door. You know what I mean? It feels like everyone's just going there, and teams have kind of figured it out now.
I mean, if you're sloppy about it, even the slightest, you're gonna see stuff like that.
We do have Yod on sniper. He is watching Valley.
Oh, true.
It's been spotted though. He keeps bombing it. Actually, so many people. Yeah,
oh, Mirror gets a kill too. Secures that frag. So Skis full Uber ad 70%. It's dwindling a little bit, but they have to go ahead and cap this up. So. Gonna take a sec, but it looks like House is gonna be their pick immediately popping through. I can only imagine, and that they do. Banny running forward, but so many players are already passive on the side of Witness Gaming. Yeah, I think Blaze bombed in super fast to try to catch up. But at the end of the day, Witness Gaming, they say you can have to. We don't want it. You're just gonna go ahead and stay at last.
We almost got caught on a lot of you by Witness Gaming. Witness Gaming are kind of already in a position to post fight here. They just, as long as they can make sure they don't get back up to it, seems to be it. Witness Gaming, they do have Uber now, and Skis is playing the leave lobby, so I'm curious to see whether we just try to dry fight this or just try to pop through. I think they have to pop through the door just because of the spam.
Oh yeah, immediately going through, they finally found the person they want to take down, and that's Blaze. Missed air shot, but will eventually live for now. A lot of bot time, but Froyotech unable to really use it. Don't really have a whole lot of space to try to go back in and counter initiate. So just gonna be a little bit of leapfrog, but in a dangerous spot. Metalworks second, it can be a very tricky spot and unfavorable position for you to stand in because of it's much harder to hold in last, and it's really easy to snowball to your own last, like a lot more than other maps. I feel like it can be. I think it's hard to like get a solidified defense in comparison to other maps. So this is really coming down to a test here of how good is your defense. So Froyotech putting it to the test, bombing in with Mirrorman. Yeah, trying to create some space and put some damage on the enemy team.
He's kind of off on his own, actually. He's really aggressive, and yeah, he's going to drop very low because of it. And Yite's behind. I think he's going for a back cap, and I really like this play because no one's here to stop him other than Blaze. Yeah, Yite's going for a back cap on mid, and Froyotech sending their whole flank to deal with this.
But Mirrorman got the force, though.
He did get the force, true. Yite's still behind. They're all chasing him on mid. They do manage to get Yite in the end. That's the first time we see this game go behind, and I don't know if you could say it worked out because it's basically a similar situation as it was before, I guess.
Yeah, except it's dis-ad this time for the side of Witness.
Yeah.
So Froyotech on the move, full Uber ad, trying to make sure all their bases are covered and they're all healed up. They're waiting a little bit, I think, for Banny to get there before they actually move. And they're actually, this idling is going to make it difficult for them to decide if it's an underpass or alley they're going to push through, but I think they finally see it is alley.
Yeah,
they're popping right over that, trying to catch as many players as possible.
Artist might be caught
almost
out.
caught, but oh yeah, Artist is going to fall instead. And you can see them looking at the other side of the lobby, and they're on their chase trying to poke their way through the shutter. It's Ash that's going to drop very low, but will eventually escape. A lot of weak players from the side of Witness, but at the end of the day, it's just Artist that will fall, but that's enough to immediately have Froyotech start the drive push.
They're tired of the leapfrogs, and it looks like you do have Blaze immediately, but we do have Yite on the Putis, and he's actually almost gonna die. Habib did infinity amounts of damage, but not enough. And Witness Gaming, look at this refight. They Uber, they kill Habib. Yeah, Habib is kind of caught out there, and Skis is gonna live here, but they can dry fight this. There's no Habib to deal with. And look, they're in the very tail of the Uber. Artist is gonna die though. And Banny's gonna. They're gonna get everyone.
But they're so deep. Wow, I'm so surprised to see Witness just full send it that deep into the enemy team too. And they've dropped so many players here now. Froyotech have another ample opportunity. Just go ahead and dry once they get healed up. They're taking a sec. It's gonna let Sam spawn at the very least. And I think that's gonna be enough for them to say, you know what, we don't want to 5v4. We have a much better advantage that we want to use, and that's our Uber advantage. They recognize that they have at least 40-ish ad to be able to work with. It might take a sec for them to actually get going, but it is something that they can use if they desire. So buffing up their soldiers just got here. It's gonna be tough now. They're wasted enough time where it's only 20% ad, and
yeah. And there's an engineer up level 2 in spawn. It doesn't watch the point or anything, but there's the level 2, and it's gonna die pretty late. Laz is actually gonna die, probably trying to edge the point. Blaze is gonna get some point time, gonna die for it. Witness Gaming pops out just to make sure they don't lose.
Banny's hiding.
Oh, do they know?
They're gonna push.
Oh, they don't know.
They're gonna push because of the player ad. They're gonna push because of the player ad, and Banny's gonna win.
So smart, pushing out, gonna get last. And that's a 4-1 for Froyotech. Heads up play from Banny on the back cap there. And puts a cat face in chat, and that's gonna be 4-1 Froyotech. So Witness Gaming need to pull out all the stops. They have 3 rounds to get in 9 minutes.
Yep, this is pretty much their last leg here. They gotta make sure that round after round after round is in their favor if they want to bring themselves back. Starting with the mid, though, gotta set yourself in a pretty good spot if you want to continue rounds going in your favor. Some damage from both sides. Are just getting a little bit weak, but they're actually going to be soldier bombs coming from the blue team, immediately full sending it onto the enemy team. Actually a little bit of some counter jumping happening, but Ash will eventually fall. Not really fighting too much. Same with Mirror Man. A lot of damage, but not a whole lot of kills from these soldiers. Just damage onto scouts and demos, but not a whole lot of collection. Yeah, Laz and Branson falling. Oh, the kill from RGLgg across the map onto Skis from mid all the way into the enemy team at Valley. Skis says nice shot. That definitely that goes from a slightly one mid to a very, very large difference with how the rest of this
that's what Witness Gaming needed. They need to, turn this Uber advantage into a round win. They've had a lot of Uber advantages trying to push into last, but they haven't gotten any. They only got 1 round off of it. That's what they need to do. They need to, get into second here, get second, get last. And Froyotech actually is holding a little closer to second than I expect. I guess that, Witness, they lost too many players, so they couldn't immediately snowball into second. So Witness are gonna have to push second into last. Maybe if they get lucky, I could see it working out that way, where maybe if they wipe them on second, they can get last for free.
Last creating a little bit of space, gonna get counter jumped at least slightly by Blaze, but will die to Yite, who runs in as well.
RGLgg so hurt.
He's dropping so low, but I think he recognized because Blaze died that he's not afraid, so he just holds at least for now. 25% ad and lowering. I'm not sure if they're gonna actually go with this. It looks like they want to. Branson he's posturing it.
I think they know they have to because the time pressure. They have 3 rounds to get, so they're gonna have to. Do stuff.
True. 3 rounds in 7
They're
minutes.
gonna have to do stuff they normally wouldn't do, and I think they're at least gonna make some space. Brand slams in. Laz doesn't really get that much, but he does make some space. Yite gonna die, so it looks like they were just going for a sack.
They got the force
here.
though.
Oh, they did get the force. Okay, so they sacked and got the force, and RGLgg did not pop. So now Witness Gaming in a prime position to win this round once the respawners come.
Gotta get your respawners up and ready. Banny is gonna go ahead and stay up on engineer as well. Slim on pyro. I think this is pretty standard, at least for now, when it comes to their defense. But Witness Gaming, last time we saw them push into last with ad, it wasn't even the plan of what they were doing. It was just the execution. They dropped so many players. So many players came in early, so the red team had targets to actually shoot at during the Uber, and it just ended up being just a full wipe.
I think they're going to take a double scout. Yeah, they know there's a pyro here, so they're just going to double scout and get through and instantly kill this pyro. But there's a gun that they can't kill. The pyro's not even going to die. The pyro's just too healthy.
He surfed the hit scan back, and Artist dies first once again. Does not work in their favor.
Going to die to a trap, too.
Yeah, Blaze will fall. He was a little bit aggressive on the end of the bridge, but they really wanted to melt the pyro with a double hit scan, but the pyro just surfed the first hit scan back.
It's 260. It's hard to kill the pyro in that situation. Like, they were dying a lot previously, and Yite's actually going to be caught out. And so this is quickly not turning
mode.
Ash, yeah, they're in desperation mode. You can tell because they're going for back caps. They're trying all these different plays. Banny's taunting. It's kind of how it's going, They still have the time, but it's steadily ticking down. They have 6 minutes. They get 3 rounds, basically.
Yeah. They probably have,
They gotta win this round, then get some mid to last. It's possible, but it's getting tight.
I'd say they got, 2 more fights, probably.
Yeah, they get 2 more fights to win this round.
And if they don't, then that's probably
And it's even Uber, so they're just gonna probably full send it here. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much forced to. They can't just sit around.
I don't think they have the time to sack.
Yeah, they definitely don't. They just have to try to... I mean, the question is, are they going to go for a sack and then a better Uber, or they're just gonna straight up Uber
Last is
exchange?
behind.
Last
I
is
like this
behind.
play. I do like this play. They're making Froyotech look at a bunch of doors, and they do pop early. Skis does milk, but Last is behind her. Oh, he kills
wins the
Slenders in the
ammo mod.
1v1.
Yeah, there's gonna be one player down, so they're gonna be they're gonna have
comes the
something
refight.
at least. But they've kind of telegraphed this dry fight location. Froyotech knows it's coming. They're kind of forced to. Ash bombing it, getting some damage on Habib. Habib is actually a little bit alone away from the beam, but
Skis
Ash is even more so.
Gonna be a little hurt. Brandslam's gonna get caught out a little too aggressive here, and Ash gets a direct on Skis, but it's not gonna matter if they can't get the kill off of it.
All the flank from Blaze.
Artist is getting bullied by Banny, and yeah, it's Lokai surfs at the mid, but you know that was their chance, and they have one more fight until it's just garbage time.
Probably, yeah. They actually did a lot of damage in that dry fight. There were a lot of red health Froyotech players, but they didn't actually like focus fire onto the. Yeah, they didn't focus fire onto the same people. I don't think either.
Last is, oh look at Last. He tried to get in the corner and fell.
I'm ready to see the
Ash
20
Sniper.
bagged.
So this is their play. They have Ash Sniper. Froyotech's probably just gonna sit on mid. I think Witness realize once they get this Uber, they just gotta push.
Yep, realistically, another Uber. And that's the unfortunate thing for them, is Froyotech knows this is going to be happening. This isn't just like a, surprise Uber exchange, you didn't expect. Like, they know it's happening.
They do have Ash on Sniper, though. I don't know if they've seen him yet.
They're going for the house play. They're actually staying inside house while the other team's in Valley, able to collect that frag, and I think Froyotech know they don't have to necessarily do anything. If
They're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is their one shot, really. They want the Yite up.
Yeah.
If this fails, it's probably it. Like, I don't think it's technically it, but it's probably it.
Yeah.
Nope. Uber exchange comes out.
Sounds pretty fast, but they're not gonna get too much. Artist is gonna die in the Uber exchange.
Dropping too.
Yeah.
Marion got really low though, so he was unable to bomb to chase them too deep. Down 4, Ash is gonna eventually fall. So 3v5 scenario. Branson collecting the frag. He is behind, trying to collect the frag onto Blaze. It is the scout class. It is possible. He is able to salvage at least in that regard, and at least live for now, collecting the pack. So there's an opportunity for them to, still try to continue to fight this.
Pinch, yeah.
Yep.
Banny's actually gonna try to 1v1 him, I think. Banny's on the prowl. He's winning it too.
As well.
I'm expecting a taunting coming. Yep, there it is. Skis dropped to a pipe.
Well, that's something at the very least, but realistically, 3 minutes left, and they need 3 minutes. So this is.
I just saw it on the stream. He just like turned around while Demo's fighting him, and then just went 150 to 0 in one tick.
Yep, and I think you can see by the Ash. You can see by the Ash pyro that we are now in dead
garbage time. I love to see it.
And the rounds don't matter, because rounds don't matter in playoffs when there's like no standing, so they don't need to like. You don't need to oh, let's get the next round. Like no, the match is over.
I'm on the pyro cam. I want to see. Maybe they should have had a pyro
cam too.
It's a good class. Maybe they should have had a pyro full time. Maybe this is what they needed. They just adjusted too late.
True. Merman bombing and taking 2v1. Yep, they're just trying to full send it. They're trying to get as much as possible. Oh lol, boy, I popped into the air. We'll get the Uber onto the pyro. Pyro's on the chase, trying to get as much as he can. If he will die, something.
Froyo, well, Banny and Skis ran away from the pyro. Wait.
Oh, he's on the chase.
Oh, please shoot rockets at him. Aw, wait.
No, he's holding.
Okay, was that Blaze? Blaze is smart enough that he knows he knew not to shoot rockets at the pyro, and I really respect that. Slemish is behind. I think he's trying to kill Artist. Oh god,
he does get that kill too. Scouts are on a rampage right now for the side of Froyo.
Artist is getting kind of bullied this half. He's been getting kind of scout classed, I've noticed, and getting died on last. Just a tragedy.
And we talked about it, like, it's a rough Demoman map. It can be really hard to backward transition, and that's what Witness Gaming has been doing a whole lot. This map, they, didn't really have a whole lot of rounds go their way. They got the one, that's about it. Otherwise, Froyotech's been, for the most part, in the driver's seat, really putting the pressure on them. So, gonna go ahead and collect the last round to spare us the last minute and a half of dead time. So that is a 5-1 game for the side of Froyotech. They take this map and the series. They will continue on and be your first grand finalist team, while the side of Witness Gaming will drop down to the lower bracket, and they will play whoever is victorious between Ford Gaming and Global Clan Ice tomorrow. Well, the match isn't tomorrow, but the lower bracket match is tomorrow, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah. I've noticed that you have to beat Froyo really hard in the first half if you want any shot at victory, because every single time they adjust and win in the second half, every time without fail. It's basically like clockwork at this point. So you really need to come out the gate strong if you want to beat Froyo. Like on Bagel, teams have been doing it. They've been giving Froyo really, really close games on Bagel, because I think they've been coming out pretty strong. But it's just on 5CP, Froyotech's been adjusting against every single team every single time at halftime, and perfectly countering them.
Yeah, I think they're probably the best team at making a mistake in the first half and then actually, one, recognizing what the issue is, and then two, executing it properly, like the wombo combo, to put themselves back into it. I don't think a whole lot of the other teams we've seen this season necessarily match them in that regard. To put themselves in a bad spot, it's the turnover rate for them, like flipping the script and completely rolling over the other team in the second half isn't as high. It's usually more of like an even endeavor. So it's definitely a very, very valuable uh, asset to your team to be able to do that. It definitely shows.
There's our interviews. Looks we have Danny and Habib coming in for our post game interview. I think it's 1:30. People are probably tired, but
Yeah.
hey guys, congrats on the win. Clean 2-0 on the maps.
Thank you.
I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
say clean, but it was.
The map score looks clean. The rounds,
Yeah, that's true.
it's playoffs. The rounds don't matter.
Facts.
True.
Facts.
There's no standing. So let's speed through this. So this is getting late. Everyone wants to make sure we're all good here. Let's go ahead and talk about the map pick. You guys picked Bagel, which was a map that I think this season you're relatively inexperienced on as a whole, but you played it recently. Is that kind of what your mindset was when you went ahead and picked that as your first map pick?
That is a good point. We did practice it for our previous playoff match, so we were feeling pretty, comfortable on the map. But just kind of going with the same theme as before, where Koth maps are, something that we are comfortable on. So they banned a Koth map, but there's still two others. I mean, we've got plenty of options, so we just went with that one.
Makes sense.
Okay. So
Yeah.
on Bagel, it was really close. So were you expecting on your map pick to have a close game like that? I know it's Koth, so in general you kind of expect closer games on Koth, I'd say. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Sometimes Koth, just because of how the game mode works, goes back and forth. So did you expect to have such a dominant showing on Metalworks compared to Bagel?
I guess we would expect it to be the other way around, right? Our map pick being a little smoother, but
a little strange.
they put a lot of time in practicing on Bagel,
Yeah.
so they were prepared, I would say.
Yeah, they're really good. They're a tough team, very tough team.
But yeah, I don't know. A lot of the rounds that we lost on Bagel, we kind of threw, but as you mentioned, it's all about the adjustments. That's been our sort of strength whenever we have a tough match, is that we can adapt.
Like we can really analyze things that are happening like in the middle of the game, and like that's what will tell us like, okay, what's not going wrong, or what's not going right. What can we be doing better? What needs to happen differently? Those type of things. When you ask yourself those questions, if your team is struggling, some things can start making a lot more sense, and you can suddenly regain and reset the momentum that you need.
Now, as usual, it's difficult to ask you guys about your future because you're still in the race. You still have to you have to hold some cards for your future opponents. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the rest of the matchups. You got a lower bracket matchup happening tomorrow, as well as whoever wins that will play against Witness. Do you have any thoughts about the upcoming matchups? Who you maybe expect to come out on top in them, or who you maybe expect your opponent might be in the grand finals?
Well, I would be shocked if Witness Gaming isn't in the grand finals. They did lose a match to Global Clan Ice, and they've had maybe a close game with Ford, but I think that's going to be a pretty dominant match for whoever Witness Gaming faces. As for Ford versus Global Clan Ice, I think that will be a great match. I think that's happening tomorrow, so everyone here should tune in. But supposedly Sin Karma hasn't been playing. Maybe some roster shakeups might change the outcome of that match. I probably would say Ford are because of that roster change, if it actually happened, if Sin Karma's not playing anymore.
I saw he wasn't in scrims today, but he was streaming, so I don't know. I guess we'll see tomorrow. We only got one day to wait.
Well, he untagged, unavatared. I don't know if he left the roster, but they've been playing. They've been playing a lot with Alex.exe. I don't know if that's an official thing or not.
Oh, maybe that's the play. Yeah, he's in casual on Thunderband right now. Someone could ask him, but We'll have
But
to
yeah.
see tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking Global Clan Ice would win, but even though Alex is a really good demo, something about the style, I think Sin Karma just had a little of that X factor that worked perfectly for them, and so they'll have to adapt. I think if Global Clan Ice are trying to play it the same way they did with Sin Karma, now that they might have a different demo, I think it might backfire on them.
And Karma does have a very unique demo play style. It's hard to play against. I can attest to that.
Yep.
All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for me when it comes to questions. You got any Space Ghosts before we end up to the shout out phase?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's go ahead and then give some last minute shouts before we go ahead and wrap up the stream. Got any final thoughts, Banny?
Yeah, it was a good match. GG's. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. Looked like there was quite the crowd. You love to see it. Thank you guys for putting on the show for RGL. If you guys, I don't know if RGL announced it yet, but there was the upcoming No Restriction 6's event. So all of you out there looking to play some competitive TF2, get in on that. It's a one-day cup happening in August. Fun stuff to help shape the future of TF2 and the league. And of course, everyone who's still in playoffs, stay focused, stay on the grind. Whoever's, looking to play next season, same thing. Everyone stay dedicated and wholesome. All the edgelords can leave. That's it.
Shoutouts to Optimus Banny, holder of the Allspark. And yeah, that's it.
Any shout out space?
I'll just get mine. Do I even need to say them? Shout out to
Shout out
production.
to
Yeah, shout out to
production and skis.
Yeah, shout out to skis as always.
As per usual. And definitely shout out to all the viewers who are hanging out and watching with us. Definitely want to stick around for at least this week for the match. It'll be tomorrow. It's going to be Global Clan Ice versus Forward Gaming. The winner continues on in the lower bracket. The loser is out and gets fourth place. So it's definitely going to be an exciting match to watch. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be same time as usual, always, 11 AST and all that, BO3, all that good stuff. So make sure you be there. But for tonight, that's going to be it for us. I've been Jarrett, casting with Space Ghost with Dolphin on production. Thank you and good night.